Brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like.
You're watching Poindexter Lounge. You already know. You're watching Poindexter Lounge for the unity.
Why don't you set aside an hour or two? We'll have a few drinks and a cup of coffee. I don't drink.
Hey, watching Poindexter.
You are watching Poindexter Lounge.
Hi, you're watching Poindexter Lounge. I'm choking on chicken.
And now I'll make the point better. This joint's clever. In the lounge with Poindexter. So Poindexter Lounge, you know that we can get it in. And now I'm headed up like I'm Led Zeppelin.
Hi, you're watching Poindexter Lounge. Do you like nerd stuff? Yeah? Then you'll love this. You never know what might happen or who might show up at the lounge.
I just want to thank you for being here and being my friend. It's always good to have someone you could count on, and I'm glad you're that for me.
Poindexter, you're getting all excited.
Hey! What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it's good to have you with me in the lounge tonight. What are you doing here? You should be in bed. I should be in bed. It's 3:30 in the morning. Usually I'm trying to wind down the stream, and we have another hour and a half to go. But right now, I was sitting around the house, and I was like, hey, there's stuff to talk about, and I could literally just be in my living room right now, just watching TV. I could spend some good quality time with you fine folks. So hey, that's what we're going to do. So welcome to Poindexter Overnight. I am your host, Enosh. If this is your first time to the lounge, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my crew can get together and talk about all the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that get you excited, if those are things that get your blood pumping, if those are things that keep you up in the middle of the night to watch our humble little show, then you know what? Thank you so much, and you are welcome. And we're glad that you're here. All right. So please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. Tell a friend. You know what? I haven't asked this in a long time, but I would ask all of you, if you have friends who are into nerd stuff, tell them about the Poindexter Lounge. Let them know that there's this cool place that they can hang out, that they can have some fun, that they can be part of a family of people. And we would love to have them here as well. All right. And look, you know what? I just say this to all of you. I don't care if you've been, I'm blessed. I'm thankful if you've been here the whole time with us. I'm blessed and I'm thankful if you know what, if you've loved us from the very beginning. But you know what, if it's some time we did something to tick you off and you walked away for a minute, or you just had other priorities, or maybe you just forgot about us. Every once in a while I have somebody find the channel. Maybe you were looking for that fat guy that I was a couple of years ago, and you're like, hey, I'm looking for a 432-pound guy. I don't remember that guy. And then all of a sudden you come by. I've literally had people leave comments and go, wait a second, is this Enosh? It's been a long time since I've watched the Poindexter Lounge or seen Enosh. So, hey, just know we want you here. All right. So no matter what has ever happened, we love you. We want you here, and we're glad to have you tonight. We got some stuff that we're going to talk about. We're just going to talk about some nerd stuff, if that's okay. We got some stories and everything to talk about. But first of all, I always like to make sure that I give appreciation to all of our patrons. Thank you all for your love, for your support. We can never tell you guys exactly how much you guys mean to us. So thank you guys for your support, all of you who are patrons and all of you who give super chats throughout the week. You guys are awesome. And then, of course, all of our members. We just went over 50 members. I got to add, I've been so busy this weekend. I got to add everybody here. We went over 50 members on the last stream. Thank you so much for being members of the channel here. It's really simple. And that means that we also get a new emoticon. So I got to put a new emoticon together. And so you guys can use those during the streams. But thank you guys to everyone who's a member or a patron or gives super chats. You guys are fantastic. And don't forget, this week we will be giving away this copy of The Watchmen to one lucky winner who is either all you got to do is either be a member, a patron, or give a super chat, and you're automatically in the running for this Watchmen this week. All right, and then we already got stuff planned for 2 or 3 giveaways after that. So so thank you guys so much. I can never tell you guys how much I appreciate all of you. Speaking of that, I just want to say quick shout outs here real quick to Jacob McKenzie. Says, what up, Enosh? I think it could be a temporary suit Barry makes before his final suit. We're going to talk about that. What's up? Donovan says his paranormal activity gives me Revillage vibes, but it could be a good thing. We'll talk about that in a little while. What's up, Zentech? Let's see. I got to see if he answered me. I messaged him, and I was hoping that he would message me, because Zentech, if you didn't see this and you're just listening to this, I asked you a question in our private group. So if you could answer that, just want to make sure before I show something. But yes, always good to have Zentech here. Donovan says, see a Twitter post going around saying that the second trailer for Morbius is tomorrow. Extended look at Eternals in October, and trailer 2 for Spider-Man No Way Home October 4th. We shall see, my friends. Zentech says, it's a great time for a live. I have something to watch while I eat dinner Awesome. Well, I hope you're having a good dinner, man. Let's see here. What's up, Rational Skeptic? Late night stream. Heck yeah, it is, baby. Kinky Sphincter. Much love to you, sir. Hey. There's H Barts. What's up, H Barts 100? Says, hey, Anush. What's going on, man? Good to see you, bro. Rational Skeptic says, H Barts, you made it. Yes. Real Elmo Cinema. What's up? La 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 la. Real Elmo Cinema. And right now Isaac hates me for doing that right underneath his bedroom. But hey, yes, it's Enosh Kermit. There you go. Good to see you, Elmo. Good to see you, buddy. What's up? Edit says DCEU will rise again. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Discovery to do it ASAP till all are one. Hey, you know what? You know me. I'm right there in that hole. And we're going to restore the Snyderverse. It doesn't mean, though, that everything else is bad, though, either. I know it means something different to a lot of different people. My thing is I just want to see Zack Snyder's work completed. And I'd love to see more from Ben Affleck. I'd love to see more of those things. I just want to see the Snyderverse respected. I want to see Zack Snyder respected and see what we expect to see. And I believe that with this being a multiverse kind of thing, it will be. And I got my own thoughts about that. So Cinefinity and Beyond says this is a late one. Heck yeah, it is. The Dork Knight is here. Good to see you. Says I'm here. Team No Sleep on the West Coast. Heck yeah. He says finally Matt and Enosh on separate times, right? He infiltrated my time and my late night time. I'm just messing with him. It's hard. It's hard when we have so many good friends all over YouTube that it's hard to, you can't be mad at anybody for streaming at any time, because there's only so much time in the day. Cinefinity and Beyond says, I must have that trench coat Joker McFarlane. Yeah, I'm going to show those here in a minute. What's up, Kira? What's going on? Looks like you guys are getting into some fun there. Let's see. Oops. It's bouncing me around over here. Let's see. What's up, Ed? Says Poindexter After Dark. A loud whisper voice. That's funny. H Barts with a $2 super chat. Thank you, H Barts. Says, hey, Enosh, can I be a mod? I thought you were a mod. Hold on a second. Dude, you know what? Let me fix that right now, dude. I'll fix that right now. Dude, H Barts, I thought you were a mod. I thought I had made you a mod. So we'll do it live. Do it live, buddy. I'll make you a mod. Absolutely, man. I already thought you were a mod, but I guess not. Let me go to gotta go to my channel and see if I can find my channel. So while I'm doing that, I will tell you a quick story. It is no secret that the issues that we've had or that we had with Andy Signore last year and other people, and I don't say that to just kind of drag that all out again, but I will say this. My son, Isaac, went to work yesterday. And look, Andy has been on this whole thing of, with Britney Spears, right? I mean, he's been really on this Britney Spears thing. If you watch that stuff, you'd know that. I know a lot of you don't even watch that stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I don't blame you. But the funny thing is so he even made a music video. I was showing it to some people earlier. Yeah, it's way over the top. It's just, it's silly. Dude never cared about Britney Spears before. It's a story. It's people trying to, as far as I'm concerned, yes, they're trying to cash in on Britney Spears stuff while trying to make the people who are actually cashing in on Britney Spears, look bad or whatever. So it is what it is. By the way, H Barts, you are now you're a moderator. So here's the thing. The funny thing was that my son was at work. He heard this voice, he said, that he recognized. And he went over and checked the guy next to him who he was working with. And that guy had on a video. And he says, what are you listening to? He's like, well, I'm listening to this Britney Spears thing with this guy. His name's Andy or something. And my son says, Andy Signore? And he says, yeah. And he says, that's when I recognized, Dad, who the voice was. And he says, so the guy says, oh, yeah, you know who Andy Signore is? And he's like, oh, yes, I know who Andy Signore is. Let me tell you a story of Andy Signore. And he proceeded to tell him basically everything that's happened over the last year and stuff and the issues we went through with the Snyder Cut and stuff, to which the kid automatically hit unsubscribe and says, well, that's enough of that. I don't need that kind of drama, and I don't need to listen to that kind of stuff. And when my son told me, I said, Isaac, you're doing the Lord's work. Good job. One at a time. Just fun. H. Bart says that Kermit is not an official Kermit authorized by $3 Theater, a subsidy of H. Bart's Enterprises. Brian Master of None is here. He's on Twitch right now, but he's here. We got a great panel for you guys tonight to go over some of these stories. What's up, Danny? Good to see you, Danny. What's up, Hans? Good to see you, Hans. Austin is here. He's going to be in here in just a second. Let's see. I just want to make sure I say hi to some people here before I come in. All right, Ed. Well, hey, thank you for being here while you were, man. I hope you catch it on the flip side. What's up, Anthony Beltre? Good to see you. What's up, Luke Bro? Luke Bro is in the house. Spherical Man is in the house. Says, yawn ahoy, hoy. Good to see you. What's up? Matt? Maybe just a second. Give me a second. I'll send you a link if you want to come on in. What's up, Gavin? Good to see you, Gavin. What's up? Yeah, I can show it. Good. All right. So we got something we'll show you in just a second. And then we'll go from there. All right. What's up, Dan G? Good to see you. 187 in the house. Boy, look at all you guys showing up here. Nova Joe in the house, even with the late night stream. I love it. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm reading $3 Theater's comment here about Andy. Man, yeah, that's. What's up, Master Swag King? Good to see you, bro. What's up, Philosophical Pickle? Yeah, dude, that Free Britney song is seriously cringe. I was showing some guys. In fact, Austin was one of them. Brian was one of them. I showed him tonight. I can't even believe that's a real thing. I mean, thank you, H. Barts. Thank you, H. Barts. I feel like I've moved up in the world. Thank you. All I had to do was change my times a little bit, huh? Thoughts on Matrix 4 before I bring anybody in? I'm excited about it. I love it. I can't wait to see what they do, and we'll get there. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, you love him. I love him. He's a regular around here. He is part of the lounge. He's always here, man. He's always holding it down. Love this guy. You love him too, Mr. Brian, Master of None. What's up, Brian?
I saw that Andy's ignore video. It was the most cringiest thing I've ever watched in my entire life. I don't know if it was intended to be a joke or trying to be serious. I have no idea. I'm sure it was intended to be a joke, but I think jokes are supposed to be funny. But that's just me.
Look, I got another video of Andy trying to be funny, and I thought this was funnier right here. I'll show it to you.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to the barbecue.
I mean, I've never been a contestant on Wipeout, so I'm no expert on making a fool of oneself. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a novice. True. I've had practice, but no expert.
Well, you know what? Well, that's true. That's true, buddy. Also here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you love him. I love him. He is the voice of wisdom many times on the show. Him and Jarbo, there is nothing more entertaining than watching him and Jarbo go at it on a stream. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. William. What's going on, Mr. William?
What's going on? Happy Sunday morning.
You're a day behind. Actually, you sound like me yesterday because people wondering why I haven't been on.
Monday morning.
Yeah. People have been wondering why I haven't been on for a couple of days, and that's because I was actually putting on a big event on Saturday, and so I was responsible for the whole thing, so I had a ton of stuff going on. But it messed up my whole weekend, where this morning I woke up for church and my wife says, hey, you got to go get Landon because he was at his mom's. But I was thinking, hey, I got to go pick him up for school. So I was literally just going to go out in my pajama bottoms and stuff and just go get him and pick him up and take him to school. And then I realized, oh, wait a second. It's Sunday.
Yeah. They just run into each other.
Right. I thought I was going to get to come home, go to sleep, but, didn't work. So. All right. And then also, until we get anybody else in here, another guy that we love. Also, we got the Nevada crew here tonight.
That's
We
right.
got the Nevada crew, man, holding it down, man. And I'm right there with you guys, originally from Vegas, but we got the Vegas crew and up to Reno and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Austin. How you doing, Austin? You're muted.
Great. Yeah, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? What's up, everyone? How's everybody
We're good,
doing?
man.
Good. Now, what did you think of that music video I showed you earlier?
Oh, I called my therapist right after. I'll be seeing him tomorrow. The appointment scheduled. I think definitely the greatest reaction was Brian, getting to watch Brian's live reaction to that, because that really looked like it. He was.
I couldn't move my face for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I thought I might have had like a mini stroke there for a second. I was just like,
Free Britney and no, okay.
There was just a lot of shock Andy stuff tonight. I feel like I saw.
There you go. Well, they call us the cult. They called us the cult, and this is what I got to say to Andy Signor and Jody's accusations of being a cult.
It's not a cult. These are just friends who do everything I say, offer me their bodies for sex, and occasionally kill people in my name. Does that sound like a call to you?
a little bit.
Come on, all right. It's not a cult.
Well, all I have to say is the cult put out some pretty good hits.
They did. All right, ladies and gentlemen, also, welcome to the stream. You love him, we love him, or you hate him. No in between. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Jarbo. What's going on, Matt Jarbo?
Hey, bud.
That's a very frequent descriptor of me, which is really interesting. But speaking of the Andy Signor thing, did you guys ever hear the alternate take of that?
No.
No.
Is there a remix of the remix?
There's a remix of it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Let me see if I can. I'm going to paraphrase it, but I think I've got it. It's like, hold on. My name's Andy. Why do they run from me? Is it because I'm a creep with a tiny PP? It's really good. It's really good.
We're opening up this can of worms, aren't we?
That I was really surprised, RAPE, that's what they accused of me, but it's not really true, although I ruined my life by cheating on my spouse. So give me money, my name is Andy, cause I got a tiny PP. Yes, it's true. I think it's true. It's kind of cold out here, but I'm in Tampa, so I'll leave that to you. Oh my.
Florida humidity. Oh man!
I think. Did you catch his last stream where he talked about how he wasn't doing anything for money anymore?
Let me say that, sir. I have never in my life done anything just for the money. If I'm lying, may the Lord strike me down right now.
No, I actually didn't. I don't watch him. I tried.
That was a joke. That was.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know about that van life thing until someone had told me today that he covered it. I was like, oh, that sounds about right. And then I clicked on it. It's like 4 videos in 24 hours. I was like, wow, he is. Because that's the story. That's a whole. We won't talk about that, but it's sad, but it's like, Jesus. Anyway.
Man, real quick here, Marcus. So Marcus, I'll just say this. Yeah, Zod and I have talked. Look, I was in the chat for a stream that happened, and then there was another stream that happened earlier this week. There were some crazy things that happened. But look, I love Zod. Zod loves me. Zod and I are cool. Some of the people that frequent Zod's channel don't like me, and that's just life. But you know what? Something Zod said on that last stream that I got to admit. Look, I can admit when stuff is what it is. Zod mentioned because he allowed somebody to come on and say some stuff about me. Now, that was his choice. Zod's going to run his channel the way he's going to run his channel, and I'm going to run my channel the way that I am. I personally would not have just a stream for people just to come for a half an hour and gripe about everybody that they've unsubscribed to without bringing those people in, trying to maybe bring people together, right? But I get it. Zod wants to allow his guests to speak their mind. And I'm fine with that. And I'm not mad at Zod. And Zod knows that I love him. And Zod and I get along. And, I'm friends with some people who Zod doesn't get along with too. So I get that. It goes both ways. But also, like I said, I wouldn't give them a platform to just bash somebody without having them here to to defend themselves. That's what I was upset about. But Zod and I have talked about it. And then the other day when I was in his chat and there were some people who were attacking me, I got to say, shout out to everybody who was over there, because you guys showed up in full effect, man, and such support and such love. I'm humbled by you guys and the love that you showed me. And Zod made a great point, and that was that you know what? There's like one or two people over there in that chat that didn't like me, that were saying things. The rest of the chat was filled with people who love me. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people who don't like you. So, you know, we move on. It's okay. And yes, Zod and I are still definitely friends. So what's up, Lena Deli? Says, welcome back, Enosh. Thank you. What's up, Gavin? Tim Possible's in there. Oh, Andy Signor's here. Me no like Enosh. Enosh bad. I just know that he's going to open up that DM again after blocking me. And it's just going to be like, I saw you talking about me. Block.
Okay.
I really hope he hears the remix of the song. And then it gets stuck in his head.
I might have to put it to some music, man.
Tiny, tiny head.
It's tiny.
It doesn't look that tiny in that picture.
Camera adds 10 pounds. Also, it's inflated full of air. Nothing of substance inside.
Oh, jeez. What's up, Zeno? Yes, long live the Poindexter cult. We're still here, man. We're still standing. It's not tiny. It's perfectly
I'm just gonna say, from a big guy, from one big guy to another, the way he took on that ball, that ball on Wipeout, like he took it like a champ. Good on you, buddy. Good on you.
That was one of the best videos I've ever seen.
I'd have busted my ass, dude. Busted it.
What's up, Protoss X? Good to see you, Protoss X. Real quick, Master Swag Entertainment, MSK, what's up, buddy? With the $2 super chat says, should I get Roxy on a podcast or Dan Mural?
Honestly, I don't know if they would. Roxy tries to keep to herself, I think, and Dan doesn't want drama. So, like, you'd have to like get them in under false pretenses and then bait them in the corner. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I've got you.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do what in the corner?
I bait them, not bait on them, because that would be considered sexual assault. But get them in a corner and then go like, so what's your thoughts on Andy Signor? And they'll be like, like, is he a creeper or is he a creeper?
I don't know how this stream turned into this, but you know what? Here we are.
Because you started off by talking about the Andy Signor Free Britney song.
I know.
So this is your fault.
But in his defense, how could you not though? Like, I mean, honestly,
I suffered through it.
I saw it and I was like, I was speechless. I was.
I know. Well,
listen.
He cares.
I'll tell you what. I've been a little mean. I've been a little mean. All right. I made speculation about the size of his junk, and that's not right. I will say his auto tune of himself was, you know what? Like it was okay. It was kind of cringe.
Doesn't even sound like him though.
It doesn't. No, but that's the point. It'd be like if I sang, it'd be like you'd have to auto tune it. But I mean, like it was cringe, but I get it. And you know what? Hey, I would never do anything like that myself. So good on you for
takes a pair.
Good on you for putting yourself out there to that kind of criticism and giving people an auto tune clip of your voice. And then at one point saying you're dead. Dude, and then pausing and then letting it hold.
You're dead to us. Yes.
To us.
Yeah. You're dead. And then ... to us. Like, oh, okay.
Hold it out. If you do it, you better free her or else you're dead.
To us.
One eternity later.
Right, yeah.
Pretty much, man. That's
some music, man. Yeah. The first time I saw it, I was like, wait, what? Like, okay. My event, H-Barts, went very, very well over the weekend. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, Zeno. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Look, it is what it is. But yeah, but thank you again, guys, for your support for sure. Hey! Hans is a new member of the channel. Welcome, Hans, to membership. Membership has its privileges. We're so thankful for you to be here. We love you 3000, but not in this way.
Why am I doomed to die alone?
Because you cried when Iron Man died?
I loved him 3000.
You don't have to worry about that with us, man. We love you so much.
So if I join the membership, does this mean it's a friendship with benefits?
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
Especially
yes,
if you go
Austin.
full Poindexter.
Oh, dude.
You never want to go full Poindexter.
Oh, trust me. Plenty of people have, and they've loved it. They've loved every second of it. They've loved every second of it, sir. Yes. One cult to rule them all. We will be the final one standing. Master Swag King Entertainment with another $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Says Andy was sucking on Gorilla Grodd too much. Oh, man. It was a fisheye lens. Does the trick. Well, hey, look at here. Comparing Signor to Jarbo. Jarbo looks more skinnier.
Thank you. It's called diabetes.
Really makes you rethink your intake.
Also pills, but for the diabetes.
True.
But then also pills. No,
God damn it.
I swear I keep trying to transition. I swear I do.
Oh, that's so going to get clipped. Inacia.
Man. Oh, man. So, one thing I did want to show. So, our friend Zentech, who is in the chat. Yes, H-Bar went full Poindexter.
Oh,
he sure did, and he
got
got some spaghetti tacos, man. God,
that just sounds like sex on someone on their period. It's like it's the gross. I understand like the meme, but it just sounds like, like code word for like something very nasty. So like you get your spaghetti taco on, like what is that like?
Earning your Red Wings.
Earning your Red Wings? Yeah, just like the new millennial way of like describing it. Like, back in my day, we called it getting your Red Wings, but then here comes fucking Red Bull.
Carly generation.
Yeah, the iCarly generation.
When two people French kiss, they form an approximately 60-foot-long tube between two buttholes. Until next time.
Okay, what the hell is wrong with you, man?
I have a feeling like Enosh just like scrolls TikTok and like just takes a whole bunch of stuff.
And all of it's Skeletor?
Like all the time.
That's the second stupid Skeletor thing that you've had.
You should get that, William. What the hell is wrong with me?
Right. So I did want to show this though, because Zentech, speaking of grifters and crazy people. So Andre Cedino is a guy who he doesn't like me. He doesn't like anybody. He pretty much thinks that the whole world. If you don't know who he is, good on you. But the thing is this guy has attacked more people. He's had more YouTube channels, I think, in the last 8 years than anybody. But he keeps getting kicked off YouTube. He comes back, whatever. He attacks people. He hates everybody and everything. But here's the thing, Zentech. A lot of people don't know this. Zentech has actually been trolling Andre for 8 years under different names, because here's the point. He's not just trolling him just to troll him. One of Andre's things is Andre says that everybody is like a bunch of just bad people, that nobody has integrity, that right here's Zentech right here. Yeah. That nobody has integrity, that, he's the only one with integrity whatsoever. And here's the thing. Andre has been like the opposite of that with everybody for a long, long time. And so Zentech has actually been documenting this, and he's getting ready to put out a series, like a docu-series about, going down some of the things. So Zentech has gone by the names Ken Kitts. He's gone by the name Zentech Zantet. He's gone by his actual name and a couple of others. And he asked me to be a part of a little something, but I'm going to share this with you guys because this is coming, and I want to throw my support to him before we get into a couple of topics here. This is something that he's been working on, and it's very interesting. Take a look at this.
I'll just say this without getting into it. For the first time in my life, for the first time in my entire life, won't mention names or anything, I sat in on a Skype meeting with WB execs, and I know some shit now. I know some shit.
Or me.
It's laughable if Point Mixer's Lounge don't believe anything Zentex cocksucker or Ken Kid says, but yet people don't even know what I found out. It's not been reported at all. Some dude, some troll loser named Zentex. The Ken Kiss go gaga. It's like, you know how people say, "Oh, to be a fly on the wall." I was a bird on the wall.
We just need to acknowledge that all parties present. We have Mr. David Zaslav here, Nash Snickers, and we also have Andre Cedino, Francisco, sir. Yes.
Here's the kicker. New Animaniacs Season 3 with the contributions of some big-time directors like Quentin Tarantino, Edgar Wright, Ben Affleck has seen my vids. You gotta be joking.
I know Ben Affleck's seen your videos. I found out about you from Ben Affleck.
Serious?
Kathy, can you make me some tea? You bring some tea in.
I can take care of that, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
David Zaslav may have made an appearance there at the end, but it may not have been David Zaslav.
Jeez.
What I love is he found out when Zentek finally told him, he did a stream, immediately jumped on a stream and said, "Oh, I knew the whole time. I knew what was going on the whole time." Like, Zen's been doing this for 8 years. Find it interesting. And he did it basically to just show the fact that this guy is not genuine at all, or being honest. But hey, the AMBW channel, that's our old good friend Tom Hanks Ballsack 69, he with a $4 super chat here, says this goes to the Matt Jarbo Better Fart Soon Fund.
Already happened tonight, so thank you.
Really?
It's a once a day type thing.
It wasn't this, was it?
Hello, ladies. Welcome to the barbecue.
No, I did have Chipotle for dinner, and so kind of.
Well, you got to be careful.
Oh, look at William up there rolling his eyes.
You got to be careful with that skin around there, because like it's very sensitive.
Your lips are made of the same skin type and texture as your anus. Until next time.
Good to have Skeletor there to warn us.
Yeah, but the thing with that though is that like your anus is really sensitive, so
yours might be.
Also super absorbent.
Okay, so
Pound it.
I would say it's gone downhill, but where it started, I mean, come on. We're talking about anus now. What happened?
Well,
who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
You taught me about the sensitivity of anuses. How dare you?
Speaking of anus, okay, this is the last one I'm going to show. This is for everyone. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This was hilarious. This is for everyone who was talking about this possibility back during Endgame.
I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question: What if?
Yes, and that's honestly that's the what if episode I want to see.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
I'll take that over the crappy zombies one we got.
What if Ant-Man went up Thanos' butthole? I love that, like, that was actually a topic of conversation that I've seen, like, actual Marvel people talk about.
You know, Marvel executives had a conversation.
But, like, can we make that a reality? Is it merchandisable? Can we make that a Funko Pop? It's like Thanos, but then, like, on the very back of it, it's this little dot, and, like, that's Ant-Man.
Oh my.
There's next to his butthole.
Andy Senor says, I bought a Matt Jarbo chair. It's cozy.
Sweet.
I just found that it's a guy on TikTok. Yeah, I find most of those drops on TikTok. They're just fun. It's fun to find stuff like that.
I've recently been getting into TikTok, and
yeah, I've noticed.
I like it. I like the creation aspect of it. It's like I can like lay in bed and like make a video and like have it be good, kind of. And then like it's so funny surfing it. I'm like, my God, there are like so many weird things on there that are just like people put themselves out in a very unique way, and I laugh at a lot of it, like in a good way, you know, like
yeah,
like they're in, and then so many celebrities are on there. It's like super crazy how many celebrities are on there.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, and there's a lot of talented people on TikTok. You know, I mean, like a lot of people, they only see like one part of TikTok. You know, but there's a lot of talented people on there, and so
yeah,
a lot of funny.
I'm trying to crack into like the strange news side of it, or like the news coverage side of it, and it's like otherwise I just have to show my balls. You know what I mean? Like that's like kind of how it's gonna work.
That's true.
I see you there.
Okay, Andy, down boy. Matt Jarbo.
Listen. That is how 2 Jarbos 1 cup came to be, or 2 girls 1 Jarbo. There we go. I like that one even better.
That one has a better ring to it.
Better be careful with that guy's drops. Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Okay, one more.
If you've ever donated blood, the blood could be in somebody's boner right now. Until next time.
That is somewhat true.
It is. All right. So I didn't get up at 3 a.m. to just drop a bunch of new stuff. We're going to talk about. Whoops. What did I do? I did the wrong thing here. Sorry.
Red Death.
Stop. I shared my own video. There you go. It's a little bit late. I gotta say. I saw the title in there and I was like, yeah, that's right. Right? No.
Hey, that's what we're talking about tonight.
That's right. It's amazing. That's what this is exactly what we're talking about. That's my own video. Okay. So this picture came out, folks, and
I spray painted a lightning bolt over the Batman logo.
Right. But so let's take a closer look at this first. First of all, I'm just interested. What were you guys' thoughts of that picture when you first saw it?
Who spray painted over the Batman logo?
Yeah,
I don't know that much about, like I said, but my brain said that's exactly what it said.
I get to see my childhood Batman from 32 years ago in the Flash movie I've been waiting for. Who are they going to announce that actually Barry Allen's going to be in this movie at all? Because this is a lot of stuff.
They're saving that one. It's kind of like the Toby and Andrew thing. They're not going to confirm it until the movie actually.
Yeah, it's going to be in trailer number 2.
Right.
I've liked everything that for the most part Machete's done. I'm just starting to get concerned that the problem I have with any superhero movie that I haven't liked is because of clutter. And I'm worried about this movie being, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but it just seems like there's just a lot going on in this movie, and I hope it runs smoothly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you. Like, this was something that I wasn't quite expecting. It's definitely spawned a lot of talk today, and I'm not convinced that it's Red Death necessarily. But we'll get into that in a second. Lewis Cox here with a £2 super chat. Thank you, thank you, sir. Says, what, you're still streaming? Cool. Actually, we just started like 45 minutes ago. It was a late night stream, bud. So there you go. H Barts with another $2 super chat says, Enosh, you watch New Dark Side? No, what's that? What's New Dark Side?
Video game or something?
Yeah, I don't think I know what that is, dude. Yes. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Resident Justice RJ, what's up, RJ? Says, why is Batman the focus of the marketing for a Flash movie? Is this a Flash movie or a Batman multiverse cluster figoso? Look, I'm not sure. Look, a lot of people are speculating that it's Red Death. For those of you who don't know who Red Death is in the multiverse. It's part of the dark multiverse. He is a version of Batman, but has the Flash's powers. And so when people saw the Batman logo, I mean, we saw this Batman armor a few months ago with the blood, right? And people said that it looked a lot like, possibly like Watchmen, even, with the smiley face and stuff, the way that it was on there. People made fun of it too. Said it looked like strawberry jam. And then now we get that, what basically looks like that same armor, but now with red and the Flash's symbol on it. I mean, it is a multiverse movie, but I don't know if they would. I don't know that they would telegraph something, that big. Although, honestly, we've been wondering who the villain is in this movie because they haven't announced who the villain is, and it doesn't sound like it's going to be Reverse Flash. What if Michael Keaton was actually the villain?
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, way to kill a brand in like one swift move.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, hey guys, we hear you like Batman. How would you like Michael Keaton to come back, right? Everyone? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy, okay? But I said this.
He plays a good bad guy, though.
No, he does. He plays a great bad guy. But I said this on my stream earlier, and I'm like, I think like DC is just trying to like kill the DCEU and focus on the Batman. That's what it feels like to me. Because like yesterday was Batman Day, and this came out today. Like, that's kind of weird. Yeah, a little suspicious.
They're going to get a mixed reaction from the Batman. Like I said, I think it's going to be a great movie, but if they go in the horror direction, you're always going to have that segment of Batman people that are going to be like, that's not my Batman, that's too dark. You made him a serial killer. I mean, there's going to be that. So if they're putting, all their eggs in that,
I think the people, but I'm telling you this, William. I think the people that grew up with Adam West are going to think that, but they're mostly dead now. So the younger crowd is gonna end up being okay with it.
So like I said, Michael Keaton was my first movie Batman. So it's not like, but every time DC has come out with one of the Holy Trinity characters, there's always that other following that is, with Superman, especially with Superman. Anytime that they've touched any of these characters, there's always that cult group that is like, that's not my so-and-so, no matter what.
But are they the ones spending money? I agree
that
really
they're not, but the problem is I agree with you, but Warner Brothers has never paid attention to the right people. That's why they are where they are with these movies. They pay attention to the wrong people. They don't pay attention to the people who love this stuff. They flinch when there's any criticism of any kind. They flinch and they change direction. So if Matt Reeves puts out a great Batman movie, but it gets, mixed response, are they going to stick behind him because they haven't stuck behind anything before?
Well, that's my whole point is like I feel like they're trying to just get rid of this, like I think they're trying to like destroy whatever connects it in order to just go whatever way they want to go with it and see, well, you guys didn't show up, so now we're just not connecting anything. Like I feel like it's sabotage.
Well, it's like they're going full Kylo Ren. They're like, let the past die, kill it if you have to. You know what I mean? Like,
and if they were
getting that vibe out of it,
that would be great. If they had a better idea, I'm all for it. Let's put your cards on the table. But it's just the track record of these guys isn't the greatest.
You know what it reminds me of? Okay, so has anybody seen the movie Major League?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so like the villain in this movie is the owner of the team, and the owner of the team is trying to relocate the Indians to Florida.
You mean the Guardians?
How she does it is by making the Cleveland team be not good anymore. So yeah, so that I agree, Matt. I'm getting that kind of vibe here.
H Barts, I know now what you're talking about, the show Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah,
I have not seen it. I have not seen it.
That's
Poor
actually
Tommy
a good
Dreamer.
show. I
That
like that
episode
show.
really screwed up a lot of people's future plans, by the way. Especially
Really?
Tommy Dreamer. Yeah.
I heard about the Tommy Dreamer. Now, what is that? What is that on?
Which one was that?
That was
It's
the
on
latest
Vice.
one. Yeah.
It's on Vice. Okay.
There was years ago this legendary plane ride that Ric Flair was on. He did some crazy stuff because he's Ric Flair, and he came on to a flight attendant that was on there. I mean, kind of allegedly sexually harassed her. And when they interviewed Tommy Dreamer about it, he basically blew it off as the kind of thing that just happened. I don't know how chopped up this interview was or how context or whatever, but the company he was working for suspended him indefinitely. Ric Flair has been getting all kinds of hashtags, and I mean, I woke up to it before I'd even seen the episode, and I'm like, what the hell happened? And I'm like, okay, this was like 30 some odd years ago. It doesn't make it right, but I'm like, all of a sudden, Tommy Dreamer's out of a job, and Ric Flair's getting hashtag bombed, and that's not even the worst episode of that show. That show is very dark. That show makes you want to just give up watching wrestling. I mean, to be honest with you, because
I'm already there.
Yeah, but the Chris Benoit.
You never started. You never started.
The Chris Benoit episode. That's a depressing show to watch. Man.
Oh man, that one's bad.
That one is hard to sit
The
through.
Owen Hart one's tough. The Grizzly Smith one is pretty rough. Like,
yeah, I mean, all these people died long before their time, before they had a chance to even. I mean, Chris Benoit was 40. I mean, it was.
Well,
this last episode was just kind of a mess.
a real case for CTE though, and wrestlers taking headshots.
Yes, stop it with the chair shots. Stop it with the headbutts. And that's all. That's sports all the way across, though.
Yeah,
it's not just wrestling. I mean,
football, all of it.
Football, Junior Seau. I mean, all these guys are that when you do the brain scans and all those dead spots in their brains.
Oh,
and
sure.
they know something's wrong with them because when Junior Seau killed himself, he wanted his brain to, to be donated to science. And some of these guys are like that. It's just sad.
I know.
Sorry to bring the mood down.
No, it's all good.
So, I'm sorry, I froze there for a second. Lewis Cox here with a £2 super chat says, "Wait, you just started? I just woke up." LOL. So, Chillmonger, so I'm going to show you guys something. So this is Red Death. I have the McFarlane 2-pack with him and.
Whoa, that one's cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool figure, man. Like if you look at him here, you can see that. He's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool figure. That's what he looks like in the comics. It was a part of the Batman Who Laughs stuff. Because the Batman Who Laughs went around the multiverse, getting all these different Batman people from all over the multiverse. And so, like in here, it's from it says Batman: The Red Death. Is this from 2017? Is when this is from, and I see a couple of comments here that I want to get to because Gavin Cooley says I don't think it's exactly Red Death, but at the same time I don't think it's going to be this movie's version of the character. Let's see, RJ with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, RJ. Says it's not Red Death because WB will never ever go that deep into comic book lore. When have they ever cared or respected the comic books? That's a good point.
That's a good point. That's a really, really good point.
Some of their creators have it. They're executives that have it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also know about the executives that asked, "Oh wait, how is Superman gonna get back to Krypton?"
Exactly.
Yeah. That's true.
The ones that didn't know how Flash's powers worked, we wondered.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a dog that has superhero powers? His name is Crypto.
Do you give him a kryptonite bone?
I don't understand. Does he fly?
What's up? What's up, Jeremy? Jeremy's a big comic book guy, and he says it's got to be a nod to Red Death. I kind of agree with RJ though. Like, I just don't see that, like, Warner Brothers in the state that they're in. I don't see them literally pulling the trigger on Red Death. Look, kudos to them if they did.
He wants to. Maybe they're letting Andy do what he wants. Maybe.
Look, kudos to them, man. If that's what they're doing, But yeah, Marcus here says, say what you want about MCU, but at least they are going deep into comic lore. Now they are, they're going pretty deep in there right now. Lewis Cox here with a £5 super chat. Thank you, Lewis. Says, I will say this: WB will use Red Death and not give a toss about where Red Death comes from.
Wonder if we'll ever see Batman who laughs on live screen, on a live motion picture.
That'd be something.
That'd be a dark movie.
Yeah.
That's HBO Max right there. I don't know if you'd be able to put that in the theater.
I'd watch it. I'd watch the heck out of that, man. But still yet, I mean, that's man, that'd be a dark movie though. Yeah, Adam here says, oh my, I'm awake and you're live. I know, I'm kind of surprised at everybody. Like, I'm usually I'm streaming a lot at this time, but I just started.
You're usually doing the hour-long wrap-up and goodbye at this point.
Exactly.
That's good. Well, that's compared to the hour-long startup and hello.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Hey,
Benson, hey, it works for me. What's that?
Hey, despite Denny Villeneuve trying to screw this movie up, Dune made $38 million overseas. I hope that's a good sign. This guy's. We're about to launch a campaign to promote this movie. This dude really hurt me with this, man. This dude really, really, really cut our balls out from under us. And where I'm talking this movie up, in particular, it happens to hurt me because I'm in the middle of a comic store trying to tell
Love
people
you, life.
Dune, and this guy's telling me he's making fun of an audience that has crossover potential. A lot of the people who seen these comic book movies are going to recognize people that they've seen in these movies in his very movie. So I'm hoping.
And even more interestingly, Dune had a pretty big comic run this last summer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, are you trying to sabotage your own release? I mean,
I have a bit of a hot take on this, right? Honestly, no one is going to care. Outside of maybe the Twitterverse, which is not everybody, the commentary about like Marvel movies ain't gonna matter. Like, and then if anyone says anything, it's like, look, he did Blade Runner 2049, a sequel to a cult classic, and then he's rebooting this franchise. So, you know what? It's idiotic comments if anyone even cares. But like, no one cares.
I hope not, because like I said, this 38 million. I don't know if that's going to translate over into America, but that's a decent start, I guess. And I think this movie's going to struggle in the theaters, even without COVID, even without HBO Max. But I still think at the end of the year, when they start handing out trophies, it's going to be up there, and not just the regular science fiction ones that, the Oscars did, best visual effects stuff. I actually think it could be up there for best movie and director. It could be up there. So I'm hoping, despite what it
here's the thing with Dune, that's going to be the big problem. Based upon what I've read, we know this is part one. This was supposed to be part two. This ends with like a sudden cliffhanger. It's like done, right? So it's not like Fellowship of the Ring, where Boromir dies and the party gets separated, and then we have like an actual ending setting up a sequel. This, from what I'm reading, is just it ends abruptly, and that's gonna screw people over, because that lack of a resolution actually hurts you coming out of the theater. If you're watching it at home on HBO Max, it's not going to be as jarring, because it's like, oh, okay, you're at home. But if you're in the theater and you're invested, and then it all of a sudden just ends, you are then left with that loss of not being able to see it completed, which is going to then hurt you. And the fact that they don't actually have a production slate or production schedule for the sequel, or according to Denny, even a finished screenplay at this point. Never mind, they shot the movie 2 years. They already have a screenplay. I think that's ridiculous to say that, but they screwed themselves by not shooting this back to back and guaranteeing a sequel, because audiences at this point in time do not need to have that fear of not seeing something through, and that has been a main factor in what has killed network television, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some movie franchises.
Yeah.
You know?
Real quick, Benson's with a £5 super chat. What's up, Mark? So this is something Mark and I disagree with, but you know what? Mark is still my friend, and I still love him. Says may as well have the cast in Flash. Carrie Banner saying, "R.I.P. Snyderverse." Deep down, Fisher must be kicking himself. His career is hardly on fire now. So I'll just tell you this: as somebody who knows Ray Fisher, Ray Fisher ain't kicking himself for nothing, man. Ray Fisher is doing just fine. Ray Fisher has made very clear his stance on it. He walked away from all of that on his own principles and on his own convictions, and anything else is just speculation, and it's not knowing what's gone on behind the scenes. So he was the one who chose to do that. Nobody forced him to do that. He walked away from it because of his own principles, and so he's not kicking himself. He's been very, very busy ever since. He's doing what he's doing. And look, the guy has publicly even said that he'd work at McDonald's if he has to. There ain't nothing wrong with working at McDonald's when you stand for what you believe. So he's going to be just fine. He's going to be just fine. So deep down, I've talked to the man. I've looked in his eyes. He ain't kicking himself over nothing. He knows what he's doing, and he's going to be just fine, you know. And I think time will tell whether or not we get more Snyderverse or whatever. But look, I think if anything, the Flash, given its content, being a multiverse, all that does is fuel the speculation that the Snyderverse can continue, because if you're going to have pocket universes and all these different universes that all exist, and you're saying that everything exists, there's always that you're leaving that open, because you're not rebooting. You're not just starting everything over again. And like I've said from the beginning, go ahead, Brian.
There's the metaphorical. It exists in our hearts.
Well, there's that too. But
oh my God, in our hearts.
Yeah,
Brian.
I'm just trying to be good here, guys. Come on.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But no, I'm just saying that because I know. Look, everybody doesn't have to agree with me, and that's fine. We all have our differences of opinions. Time will tell, and all I've told everybody is, hey, if it happens, come back here and celebrate with us, right? Let's have a celebration of it, because we say we love these things. Well, you know, I think there's people who want to see it, even if they don't necessarily believe that it's going to happen. So, but
I just want to get to a point where I'm excited about what's coming next for DC Films, and right now I'm just not excited. It's a little bit of somewhat excitement and skepticism. It's not anticipation of, wow, I cannot absolutely wait until I can buy a ticket for this. I'm not watching this on HBO Max. I'm going to the theaters. I just don't have that feeling right now. And that's a problem, because it's really undercutting the good work that some of the people making these movies may be doing. You're going to end up with a Suicide Squad situation where they put that movie out there on an island, and there you go.
Well, do you kind of feel a little bit worried that they don't have many films planned past the next few years? I mean,
I don't think they have any plan whatsoever.
You look at Marvel. I mean, they've got 12 films planned in the next
2027.
Yeah, I think
there's 15 films from now until the end of 2024.
Yeah,
look at the conversations you have about what's coming on with Doctor Strange and everything else. Regardless of what you think, which direction you're having, the conversations that are anticipation of, wow, this is what's going to happen. Is this going to happen this way? Is this going to happen this way? It's just a different tone in the conversations, and they don't have to make 25 movies or make 10 movies a year. But whatever they have, I should be excited about. And when I walk out of what I just saw, I should be excited about the next step. When I walked out of Suicide Squad, I'm like, well, that was fun, you know. And I just went on, and it was out of my head as soon as I saw the next movie I saw.
Well, like I said, time. Well, go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was going to say like a couple of things, like on the Fisher thing. I think he'll be okay, but he definitely damaged himself, and he did it for in his mind the right reason. But that's my take on it. You know, I wish the guy well. I hope he gets all the work in the world, and I'd love to see him come back, but I just don't see him really ever coming back to Warner Brothers. I just don't.
I've never said that he's coming back to Warner Brothers.
No, I'm not saying you did.
No,
I'm
no,
just saying-
I know that you're not, but like other people, like may like insinuate from what I say, like the only way that I ever see him coming back is like just what he said, like like there would have to be a regime change. You know what I mean? It's like, and like even my take on the Snyderverse of thinking that it's possible for the Snyderverse to come back. I don't argue with anybody. I don't argue with you, Matt, or anybody else. That it's like the Snyderverse ain't happening in the current state of Warner Brothers. There would have to be major changes for stuff to happen.
Reconciliation.
Well, I think the way to.
So I don't think anybody's arguing that. You know what I mean? Like if anybody thinks that I'm arguing that like one day Hamada's going to wake up and Emmerich's going to wake up and be like, oh yeah, let's go ahead with that Snyderverse thing, man. Like we were wrong. Like that ain't ever going to happen. I
wouldn't trust him not to screw it up, even if he did say it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If they announced it, I'd be skeptical. I'd be like, okay.
But I do agree with William though. It's like I'm not really like excited. The Batman has my attention because I want to see a Batman. I would love to see a Man of Steel too. But I mean, they've left so much of that on the table for so long. Like at this point, there's literally like they're not going to come back and do a second Henry Cavill movie 10 years later. You know what I mean? Like it's just it doesn't make any sense in the world for them as a company to unless they're going to go back and just reboot everything, because that seems more up their style. And I was talking about this the other night about like Zaslav and like he's going to be coming at this from a consolidation standpoint, where I feel like they're going to focus on things that are going to be mid budget and manageable. And that's why the Batgirl and Blue Beetle being HBO Max are going to be good to push subscriptions there. And those are set in the Snyderverse technically. So, I mean, they are still continuing it, but just without Zach's involvement or input.
So look, when it comes to this picture, look, it could be something as simple as the Flash damages his suit. He needs a new suit, so he takes one of Batman's suit and spray paints it and puts it on there for some reason, and he just deals with it that way.
It could just be something simple as Batman and Flash are in the same movie, and they're just is another thing. Simple.
It could be that. It could not even be something that's actually in the film, right? So I mean, it could be that, or it could be a fanboy's wet dream that Red Death appears. I would highly. I know everybody's like rushing to say that it's Red Death. It's Red Death. It's got to be Red Death. It's got to be Red Death. It's got to be Red Death. I understand where that desire comes from. But like to just throw Red Death in just to throw Red Death in, like that doesn't make sense to me.
You throw Red Death, go ahead and give me, since you're going to put 9 million Batmans in the movie,
right?
Go ahead and give me the Batman who laughs. If you're going to put all these Batman in the movie, give me the coolest one you could possibly do.
Give me Flashpoint Batman too while you're at it.
But again, like even if you do that, like I can't put it past Warner Brothers to say, well, it doesn't matter how Red Death appeared in the comics. We're just gonna throw Red Death in as a character and forget that Red Death was introduced through the Batman who laughs.
That doesn't even bother me as a comic book guy. That part doesn't even bother me. It's the fact that they can't execute. If you're gonna tell me you're gonna do your thing your way to fit your narrative because you're making a movie and you're gonna bend things your way to make your movie, that's fine. The problem I have is the execution. They just haven't executed or followed through with anything to where all these things are throwing out. I don't have it's all going to fit somewhere. I'm just going to sit back and watch. I don't really have that sense of security. It's more like, are they just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what excites me the most? And then, that's how they are marketed. But I guess it's all just wait and see. And wait and see is not good. Wait and see is settling. Excited to see is what you want, because the release day is the end game. The ramp up to these things is where you're gonna get your positive momentum, and that's what they've done. They've released Suicide Squad. I had a lot of fun with Suicide Squad, but I don't think that movie should have ever been made. All right, that's two different conversations. Whether it was a great movie or whether it should have been made in the context of the universe or anything that they're trying to build. What did that movie do? Gave me Peacemaker. Okay, great. I mean, I don't have anything to. It's a springboard to nowhere. And that's what the Flash movie. I'm worried about the Flash movie just being just a salad with just a bunch of stuff you threw in your refrigerator and said, "Here, eat it." You know, but maybe I'm just too skeptical. I don't know.
Well, no, you're not wrong. I mean, that's the thing is all the promotion about this movie, barely any of it is about the Flash. All the hype has been Keaton and Affleck. Like just yesterday, they're like, oh, did Affleck film his scenes in secret? You know, because he flew out for Venice and then he's already back in LA. Him and J-Lo did a date night with their kids last night. You know, went and saw a movie. Like that was floating around the tabloids today. So it's like, when is he shooting this? How much of it is he going to be in the movie? You know? And then that becomes a question. Like, is he actually going to be in the suit? Is he just going to be Bruce Wayne? You know, we have no idea of knowing yet, but I feel like everything is very secretive. And that could be like, everything could also be a misdirect because fandom is coming up and they just want to keep us talking. And they're maybe trying to, capitalize on maybe the Spider-Man No Way Home Venom 2 situation where all of that is so massive that it's something that everybody wants to talk about. And at this point, even Sony doesn't even care anymore. They're basically telling you what's in the movie. So
they released that leak. They made sure that leak, that audio got out, by the way.
Oh, well, there's that. And also that 8K, that very high definition screenshot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's come on. I've never seen something so pristine come out. But then again, even Warner Brothers putting out all those behind the scene shots from a closed set, the Bat Cave, that's all PR putting it out there. That's all PR putting it out there to keep people talking about it. Right. And it's all Batman themed, or Supergirl. We haven't even seen anything of Barry in the suit, which makes me really question how much of Barry is going to actually be in the suit in the movie.
How much Flash are we actually going to get to see? Or is this gonna be Barry Allen running around?
Well, this is a sequel to 2017 to Justice League. This isn't a sequel to Snyder Cut. So that Barry in Justice League was a bumbling idiot. There was no emotional resonance there. There was nothing there in that character in that movie. No. And so it's that's the character we're going to follow into this. It's dude, where's my Flash movie? It's just literally he's just going to bumble into 89 Batman's Gotham and be like, whoa. I said this even earlier tonight in my stream. I said, he's going to be the POV of the audience, the React Bro. Right. We're going to walk into the Batcave and we're all going to be like, oh my God, wow, the Batcave. And then it's going to cut to a reverse shot of Barry. And we're like, oh, wow, the Batcave. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that out loud or something like that. And he's going to be a tourist in his own
What's
movie.
this?
Yeah.
It's the continuum transfunctioner. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's all it's going to be. They're not going to do anything. I think the Flash isn't even it isn't even the Flash. It's just
he's gonna dress up as Robin.
It might as well. You know what? You might as well just put him in a Robin suit and let the Joker take him out back and beat him with a hobble or something. They don't know. They don't know what the audience wants. When the audience is very clear, just consistency. That's it. I mean, that's how you build
consistency
it.
and resolution. You don't have to have the Snyderverse last for the mind until I'm 80. Resolve something. Do something. Start something. Get to the middle and end something.
Exactly.
They would do so much goodwill if they actually finished something instead of all these things just hanging out there. So, like I said, I always say it's like the chef that, I eat at a restaurant and I get good food from a chef, and then you switch him up on me, and I never get to see what the rest of that guy has to cook. I don't. It's hard to trust them. I mean, all these things that are going to happen in the Flash movie, if they'd have had a good track record, we'd be talking positive about that because we would have seen what they have done. But we've seen what they've done is it's been like, oh no, you guys let these guys play with the movie toy again, and it's and I just wish that at some point, whoever has to clean house, whoever has to leave, I need a good filmmaker. I don't need a comic book geek. I need a good filmmaker to sit side by side with the comic book guy. And I need those guys to come together and connect with the IP and do things that make sense. And that's what Marvel has. I mean,
DC had that too.
But what's up?
DC had that too.
Yeah, and You know,
they just never stuck with anything. They did the Green Lantern movie, and then they got cold feet, and then they did, you know,
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, and they got cold feet.
And they did Batman v Superman, and they got cold feet. And then they did Justice
they got halfway
League.
through the Justice League.
They got halfway through Justice League, and then they
well,
got cold feet.
I will say this: they actually didn't have cold feet with Man of Steel. They were all in on Man of Steel.
Yeah, but once it came out, they had cold feet. Yes.
No. After it came out, that is when they greenlit BVS, and that's when they also brought him on to do Justice League.
But
like that was all done in the aftermath of Man of Steel.
What gave them pause.
Well, it was it was BVS and the theatrical cut. Like whoever greenlit that I think that was Kevin Tushihara. That was more of an edict from him. They deserve to like just be kneecapped. You know what I mean? Like it's just because we'd be living in a much different world if the Ultimate Edition had come out, and they didn't ruin Darkseid or Doomsday in the trailer.
Yep.
Like it's just the marketing and the cut of that movie. It's like, you know, it's like that meme from The Simpsons where Lisa breaks up with Ralph Wiggum and Bart plays back the tape. Like this is the exact moment where his heart breaks.
Yep.
You can go back to that. That's like the opening of you know BVS and stuff. And it's terrible. I know we've talked it to death, but it's just still
no. But it's still true. Benson's here with a £5 super chat says you can hardly use a woman strangler in your promotion for Flash. I know you and Lou don't want this, but until DC is run like Marvel, this will continue. So I'll just say this. Look, when it comes to whatever happened with Ezra Miller, I will say this. Look, if something was really there, we wouldn't be having a Flash movie starring Ezra Miller. You know,
and we might not have gotten a Snyder cut either.
Also, are you assuming her gender?
They don't
you don't
allow,
know.
Yeah, they don't allow. Look, people who do stuff like that, and it ends up being something serious and stuff. Like I've watched that video so many times of Ezra Miller with the people involved, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think that anybody can make a clear call on that video based on just watching the video. And the thing is there was some speculation that came out right when it came out, and then it died. Nothing ever happened with it. There were no
people tried
charges
to keep it
pressed
alive.
that I know of. There were no charges pressed. There was no
civil suit, no nothing.
No civil suit, no discussion. There was no nothing. And so I don't know, man.
Was this in Iceland?
Yeah, that was
those people are hardcore. You know, like I think also they were in his face too. Like they were.
That's what it looked like to me. Like
they were kind of harassing him,
yeah.
I believe.
Yeah,
right?
so you know,
those lines. So
it was one of those things where it's like, look, after this came out last year, and then Fandom happened, and they had him front and center on Fandom. So clearly, nothing about that was going to change. They you know, they're like, all right, cool, we're fine. Like it, you know, is it going to come up again before the Flash movie comes out? Yeah. Is it going to come out again probably before Fandom? Oh, 100%. But is anyone going to care? And probably not, because like it's like you didn't care then. Why are you going to care now?
Well, not only that, but like we're talking a sequel to a movie that so if it is a sequel to Justice League, that's 2017, man.
Yep.
That's a long time ago. So it's like, do I really care anymore about?
I don't even have a problem with them extend it. All right, so Justice League I think has its place, because I've always thought that they need to own the differences that they have within their own structure. And if you want to create something that is PG-13 and that you want to put on the big screen, and I understand no matter who's running Warner Brothers,
don't tell my wife that. Don't tell my wife that.
I'm just looking at business, right? Because
dude,
there's a lot of execs, no matter what studios. If you make a superhero movie, they don't always want to make it R because it might decrease their box office.
No, I get it, man. But Tiff, you should have heard Tiff today. So today I came home and we're sitting on the couch and like we're getting ready to watch some shows, catch up on some shows on like Netflix and everything. And before I turned on the Roku to actually flip it over to there to watch that, she had been watching Suicide Squad today. And look, I made no bones about it. I like that first Suicide Squad movie. So does Tiffany. Like I really love it. And so it was towards the end of the movie and we finished watching like the last 10 minutes of Suicide Squad. Well, it was on TNT. Was it on TNT or TBS? I can't remember which one was. Those are,
TFT shows Justice.
Neither of those is acceptable for an answer.
well, there you go.
You have
but
HBO Max.
I wasn't watching the film. It was on TV before we were turning on the Rokus to get over. So
I'm
Tiffany
so
was
disappointed in you.
whatever. Tiffany was waiting for me to
So
get some food or
old-fashioned.
whatever. So I come sit down on the couch and she's watching. So we finished watching the last 10 minutes of it and just kind of like reminiscing about how much we love, Harley Quinn in there, talking about Jared Leto and how, we hope to see more of him and stuff like that. Well, then right as that movie ends, Justice League starts, right? And we get through because I was doing something, I was fiddling with something and trying to get ready. And so it got all the way through the Superman, have you ever fought a hippo thing, and stuff. And the movie starts to begin. And Tiffany looks at me and she goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, just hand me the remote then, because I'm not going to sit through this S." I was like, "Wait, what?" And she's like, "I'm not watching this." She's like, "This is garbage." She's like, I'd rather watch anything else than this. And so I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And so I ended up turning it like Shark Tank, because I was like, I'm not even going to turn the Roku on and just like leave it on whatever that station is, so they can like get the satisfaction of knowing like my cable box was on Justice League during that time. So, but it was funny, man, because I was not expecting Tiffany to react in such a way. I mean, she was very adamant, but of course that's why I love my wife. That's why Tifftastic is Tifftastic.
I have here. Can we take a little trip down conspiracy theory alley here, real quick?
Uh-oh.
So, given the fact that it had been such a long time in between the Justice League and the Flash movie, due to all sorts of other issues, because I know there's been like rewrites and all this kind of stuff. Do you think that's kind of why they released the Snyder Cut? Because they wanted to get that fresh in people's minds still?
Wait, what?
I don't know.
No. What I'm saying is like, it like, as far as like enthusiasm for anything after what happened in the Justice League, it was kind of dead. Like, as far as they killed it, like in 2017,
right?
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
like,
Aquaman a year later did $1 billion, so
true. But for me, from an outside perspective, I kind of looked at it like a funeral almost. It was like, oh, this is great, but it sucks because everything's gone. Because like at that time, Henry Cavill had started moving on to everything else. Everybody had moved on and gone their own separate ways. So at that point in time, it was like, oh, there's just Wonder Woman and Aquaman left, and what happened to everybody else? So I mean, everybody knew about the Flash movie, but it was still off in the distance. But I think that's a long time for a sequel to a movie.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have a plan.
Like tangent, yeah. So it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like they might have released the Snyder Cut to kind of to prime the pump a little bit, to get the wheels greased a little bit.
I don't think they're that smart. I don't think they're that methodical.
Haven't they also done everything in their power to like push it to the back and treat it like a redheaded?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing with the Snyder Cut. They greenlit the Snyder Cut because finishing it would be cheaper than making a new movie, and they wanted to use that goodwill as a way to bolster subscriptions.
Yeah,
and that was it. That was it. And then it was like, and then I feel like it overshadowed Wonder Woman 84 like crazy.
Yeah,
I think all the data.
Wonder Woman 84 was a bad movie and had bad word.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like, I mean, they should be embarrassed to have put that movie out. I mean, period. Like, but I think a big part of that too is that they wanted. I think it's done well, and it's not that they expected it to crash and burn, but I think what it is I think it did better overseas than it did here in the States. And because if you look at like the data from like Sambo and whatever, it's like the Snyder Cut was like one of the lowest premieres on HBO Max for that data. But again, it was also, before Godzilla versus Kong when they started pushing the day and date stuff pretty heavily. So there's been incremental increases as time has gone on. And then, now they're getting ready to kind of push it into more countries. So it should go out, do better. But
when are we going to get better? The Samba sucks as far as their numbers go. Because they were only, is this true that they were only using terrestrial TVs as far as like if I'm watching it on my TV? Because when I was watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, by the fifth time I had watched it, that was the first time I had actually watched it on something that was a TV device. I was watching it on a laptop, projecting it and everything else. And I heard that they weren't keeping track of those type of numbers, which is what we in the 21st century, the technology we use to watch movies sometimes. I mean, I need a better middleman.
They were using it as a rough estimate, and it was coming in through like TVs that like it was specific Samsung televisions that had a certain thing. I know I watched it on my computer and I watched it on like other stuff, and you know it's the way that Warner's has the data, and the fact that they haven't released the data tells me that it outperformed what they wanted it to. Mm-hmm. And I say that, I know that sounds weird. Like if it's a success,
No, it doesn't.
why say anything? And or why not say anything? And I think it's because it was never meant to be something that moves shareholders. It was never meant to be. It was meant to be an investment into. I don't want to say weaponizing a movement, but definitely capitalizing on the movement. And then they got what they wanted out of you. And then that was it. It was always going to be
They
just
could have
that.
gotten more, though. That's the thing, though. I don't mind being weaponized. Use me. But guess what? You keep giving me my drug. You got me on your site. We were some of the first people, right? Some of the first people to get on.
It's like I'm giving you my vein here.
I didn't watch DC animated stuff till I got HBO Max. So you worked. It worked. You did it. So keep it coming. But
that
no,
is
not
true.
only you give me the good heroin, and then you want to give me Lysol or Pine Sol now. Come on, man.
Now I got the Titans. It's okay. I mean,
So we have to look at it like this, right? We have to look at it like this. One of the key reasons why Warner Brothers, I think, did what they did in regards to everything is because
drugs.
That is also accurate.
Yes,
Zach's movies were becoming bigger and more expensive, and BVS failed to crack $1 billion. Justice League failed to crack $1 billion. And then they were like, more or less, they're risk averse. And so while we as the fan base are like, give us more, put it right in my butthole, I'll take it.
And that $1 billion, there goes that $1 billion.
Should not have said that.
It's an
Enosh is all. Enosh is like
right
that.
27.
But that billion,
that one.
that I know we shouldn't focus on the $1 billion number, but when you compare it to its contemporary, which is Marvel, and you've got those movies that are outperforming this, that is a factor.
See, but
and
here's the
they
thing.
are.
That's bad management. And here's why. Yes, you have the Marvel movies that are performing there, but you have your own set of circumstances when it's DC. Like I was talking before, it's always going to take time for them to embrace Cavill because they couldn't even embrace a new Superman beyond Christopher Reeve to the point where they made you a carbon copy in the 2006 movie because they couldn't let go of that nostalgia. So you're always going to have that upbill. That's not my Batman. That's not my Superman. Eventually, you would have won those people over with consistency. But Marvel didn't have that situation, and plus they had a 4-year head start. I understand what was going on over there, but if you're managing a $1 billion company, you have to operate on your circumstances that you have. You have to know your environment, know your fan base, and know what you're up against as far as legacy. Marvel will have that problem when they have to recast Wolverine and some of these other cornerstone characters that people have connected to. DC had that coming right out of the gate.
Well, see, here's where I think they screwed up, right? They would have been able to beat Marvel to the punch, and I mean like have a significant beat to the punch, if they would have made Man of Steel a direct sequel to The Dark Knight or to The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes,
where
100%.
And stylistically, aesthetically, it kind of is. Because, Nolan produced it, Goyer wrote it, Goyer produced it, and everything.
Well, they said they talked about it.
And I'm sure they did, and they should have done it. I mean, but I would have made it like a sequel. I would have like really overlooked certain aspects of The Dark Knight Rises, because that movie is not the best. And there were plot points with it that just didn't go anywhere, and I didn't feel it was that great. But anyway. If they would have ended like the take, they could have asked the question. Well, during the 6 months or whatever, how long was Gotham taken over by Bane? How long was that? It was like 6 months.
Six, yeah, like 5 or 6 months.
I mean, all those cops living in the sewers without any food or water for 6 months, whatever.
Yeah, they can survive.
I mean, the question then is like, why wasn't there a Superman at that point in time? Well, one could argue that he wasn't ready to reveal himself yet, and you could then tie it into the Jonathan Kent aspect, which I thought was great from Man of Steel, tied into like, this is something where they have Batman, they're okay. Because, he wasn't ready. You could make up an excuse and then bring Superman in now that it's gone beyond that.
Yeah, because
I don't know
Zod didn't show up yet,
Yeah,
something
and like
that.
all of a sudden Zod shows up, so now it's time for Superman to reveal himself or whatever. You could have found any multitude of ways to tell that story, and continue it. And then if you would have had Christian Bale as it, you throw a buttload of money at him to come back and keep doing the role. You bring in the new, Superman, you bring in Wonder Woman, and there's your Trinity.
Yeah.
And that's already, that's after Iron Man had started, because keep in mind, The Dark Knight Rises and Avengers came out in the same year, same summer, which a lot of people tend to forget. And that's pretty crazy to think about. But they could have had that as a jumping point for where to continue it, and that would have kept them in line with Marvel somewhat.
Yeah.
Instead of just going back to the drawing board when Marvel was 5 years in.
Well, not only that, they would have arguably had a firmer base to start with. One, it was Batman, and two, they started in 2005 with Batman Begins, and that was such a rich story for Batman origin-wise. Like, oh my gosh, man! Like,
but
whoever
then they
dropped
followed
the
it
ball
up with
on that.
Superman Returns the next summer.
I mean, at some point, if you're in the corner office, have faith in your plan and what you're going. Hey, have a plan for one, which these guys don't seem to have ever had, and then have faith in it. And you know what? Take your side view mirrors off and focus on your project. They've done so much damage to their own brand by paying attention to what Marvel's doing in the worst ways, not the good ways, the worst ways. That's a them thing. That's what they've done. They could have started at any point. That which you guys laid out, that's very interesting. I would have gone for that. I would have seen that. I would have no problem with that. But the way they started it out was also fine. They just took their eye off of their product. And it's like driving at 85 miles an hour on the Autobahn and not keeping your eyes in front of you, looking at the other guy's car right next to you. All right?
Yeah.
You're always going to crash. I don't care where they started. Focus on their project. I don't care if Marvel's pulling in $2.5 billion under their circumstances. That doesn't help me. You know what? My next door neighbor is making $50,000 more than me. You think that does me any good? No. I got my own set of circumstances. I operate from within what I have to do. They have never done that. They've always had their eye on somebody's product. And that sometimes that's good. But if you don't focus on the why not? They didn't focus on the organizational aspects of the MCU. They focused on just the box office and the money. They set up this stupid ass $1 billion threshold and they screwed themselves with it. In some of these movies, like we said, if you want bigger profit margins, don't spend $200 million on a movie. Maybe review your budgeting and make some cuts there. Maybe do something with marketing. Maybe not spend $100 million on marketing. There are things you could have done not to put the pressure on the good actors and the directors that they put through the ringer. But they were looking at someone else's product instead of focusing on their own. And 8 years later, they still are, in my opinion. And that's what makes me worried about The Flash, worried about Batman, which I think could be good. But if it gets mixed reviews, if it makes $700, which is great for what they might be spending on it, that's a failure. Less than $1 billion for Navi is a failure because they're looking at a Marvel standard.
It's not just Marvel standard. I understand what you're trying to say there. It's not just a Marvel standard. It's quite frankly, Joker and Aquaman have both cracked the bill. So I mean, they have metrics by their own company standard to kind of pull from. The bigger factor here is that the cost of the movie has to be made up, and it's not just like the cost; it's the marketing, as you know. So and as and with the pandemic and everything else that's going on, we're this movie is not going to probably make its money back theatrically. Home video and then also HBO Max is going to be the big draw. So that's kind of where I think they've already realized it's going to take a bit of a hit. But I agree that they should start really kind of managing these budgets a bit more. But again, as these movies increase, right? there's a whole bunch of moving pieces and parts. It's not as simple as just greenlighting. Oh, you have your agents for the actors and the director and the writer and the producer, whatever, right? They come on in, they negotiate. Actors want more money. Either they want more percentage points. Either it's up front or it's on the back end. In many instances, Tom Cruise, to get his movies made, he takes the points on the back end. But he's also the biggest star of those movies. So who's to say that, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, right? That they're not going to, Ezra Miller, right? Whatever. That they're not going to want points. And those points then start taking away from like the share of the company. So there's a larger profit margin that has to be reached in order to see it being as a success. That's a problem, and that's the business. Marvel comes on in, signs into these deals ahead of time, and they work at it, but those movies are proven to be money makers because of that consistency. Warner's just needed to bite the bullet up front.
Well, not only that, but I think the one thing Marvel kind of benefits from, aside from a few, is they're booking lesser names in their movies. Like, I mean, with Shang-Chi, Simu Liu was the head, and that was it. You know what I mean? Like, in order to get Superman back, Henry Cavill, he's a star now. You know what I mean? So it's not like you can get away with paying him the same amount of money that you would have, say, making Man of Steel or something like that. So
Robert Downey Jr. was post
yeah,
of dark things. And so
real quick, because I've had this up for a minute. Benson's with a £2 super chat. I want to make sure to read this. He says James Gunn proved people never forget the past.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Quite sure.
He's trying to say that the James Gunn tweets had an impact on the box office. I'm gonna Benson. I'm telling you, dude, that had no impact whatsoever.
HBO Max did, like 100%.
HBO Max is the bigger fact. HBO Max did, yeah, and the fact that the Delta variant,
the theater.
well, there's that, and the Delta variant was now emerging at that point in time. And so that was a bigger factor. James Gunn's situation from 3 years ago is as moot as all hell. No one cares. And if anyone brings it up, they're trying to sell you something or they're being disingenuous.
How much does that take HBO Max out of the equation? How much you guys that Suicide Squad makes without HBO Max and without Delta?
It would have definitely done 45 or 50 million, I think, in its opening weekend rather than the 28. I think that Delta spooked a lot of people because it was a couple weeks after the theater. Yeah, like a lot. I on a packed theater. Even when I went to the theater for the early screening of it, the guy sits down next to my friend and he's like, "I'm not too sure how to do this," and he's like, "I'm vaxxed." And we're like, "So are we?" He's like, "All right, cool." So it's like, but a lot of places aren't like that. And the Delta variant was coming out, and then now we know more about it, and it's. More people have been vaccinated. I think 76% of the country has been vaccinated. But we are seeing also because of Delta, Garth Brooks canceled a whole bunch of country shows. So people who are arguing that
Vegas spreading that madness here. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, a lot of other places were canceled. Like I was just looking at his page last week, and a lot of places have been canceled. Other people are canceling their events because of the lax COVID regulations. For vaccine passports and stuff. So there's a lot that's going into this, and it is keeping people home. But yeah, HBO Max was a big factor.
So I think Suicide itself was like I said, it is a great fun movie, but they just gave you so many reasons to watch it somewhere else, even if you didn't wait. Like if we weren't promoting it, I would have watched it when it came out on HBO eventually after its window. I had no compunction to go see that movie, and a lot of people I know only went because I gave them tickets to show up. It wasn't on anybody's radar as like a must-see movie. It wasn't must-see. It was like, okay, it's here, I'll go see it, but it wasn't must-see. And I think that even without the two factors with HBO Max and without the variant, I still think it makes good money, but I think it makes right around what the original made, if not a little less.
Well, I get you on that, Master, but the problem is that a lot of these decisions were made pandemic.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And like there's a way of telling why it's going to happen in the movies near as much. You know?
Yeah. I mean, think of it like this, right? So when the Suicide Squad was first announced, that was the fall of 2018.
Yeah.
That was a year after. I know, right? It's so weird to think, but that was a year after Justice League failed.
Yeah.
And then so they were kind of in a recalibration process. Walter Hamada had also just come on. They're in a massive recalibration process. So they made that choice in order to kind of go back. And I do think they made a mistake by not connecting it, by kind of putting it on an island is not the best, but they did that on purpose. And then that's when they start working on Birds of Prey and everything else. The problem though, is that the other stuff failed to connect. Shazam failed to connect, even though it's a good movie. Aquaman did well, mostly because of China. It did okay here and stuff, but it's just they don't know as much as I think they do. I don't know. I'm getting really tired. It's after 2 a.m.
So I'll say this, and then I do want to get through the things because
I'm actually going to dip out. I got to go. It's after 2. I got to be up like
that's fine. Yeah, I want to get through stuff. Thank you for being here, Matt. I appreciate it. I'll just end with this topic. Benson's here says HBO Max hasn't gone worldwide yet. They are making budget content ready for when it does. Discovery won't be spending $180 million on a DC movie. Here's the thing.
They won't have to.
Listen, there's going to be some stuff that just goes to HBO Max, and that's going to be a completely different thing. They're not going to spend $180 million on an HBO Max film. Now, series, streaming services are spending quite a bit of money on streaming series. I mean, look at for example, Lord of the Rings that's coming out. My gosh, that's ridiculous, right? And so Zaslav has said, and I still maintain this because Zaslav said they're going to outspend even Netflix on content. So I don't think it's that, but I think I agree with you, Mark, to some standpoint, in that everybody is going to have to rethink how much money they're going to spend on any film. It has nothing to do with DC or anybody else. If the crowds aren't coming back to the theater right away and you're not going to make $1 billion with your movie, you have to rethink spending $200 million on your film. I mean, that's just math, right? So, but I don't think that has anything to do with DC or Marvel or anything. I think Marvel is even going to have to reconsider this stuff because as well, I mean, we're going to talk about
look at Black Widow
at the end here. Yeah, I mean, Black Widow made decent. I mean, given the world we're in, it made decent money. Shang-Chi is making decent money given the world we're in right now.
But that's not what they planned for.
But that's not what they planned for. I mean, Shang-Chi should have already been like over the moon. Black Widow should have been over the moon by this point.
I still haven't seen Shang-Chi.
Yeah. So I'm
good.
just saying, yeah, it is good. It is good. And so, I just think that I think anybody making judgment calls about movies right now, you can't, if a movie made any money right now, that's got to show you the public thought it was good because people were willing to actually go to a theater and see it. The movies that have come out and haven't made a splash at all, look at Malignant that just came out this last week. It's also on HBO Max. I saw it on HBO Max. I did not go to the theater to see Malignant, and I'm actually glad I did not. The movie was good. The movie was good, but the end sucked. I liked the twist and what they tried to do to it, but it just wasn't. It wasn't a good James Wan movie. I'll be honest with you. It was. I was pretty surprised that James Wan did it because the ending just was not good. But I'm saying that because if you get a movie, and we're getting a few movies now, a handful of movies that are coming through aren't doing anything. But look at Free Guy popped up. People went to go see Free Guy. Shang-Chi popped up. People have gone to see Shang-Chi. Black Widow even came out. People went to go see that. So, but even with them going to see it, none of those movies in this current climate are going to make what they would have made outside this climate. So Suicide Squad, even though people want to pan on Suicide Squad, and I understand their reasons, people have their own different reasons. I don't necessarily agree with them all. But people have their own reasons for wanting to pan on Suicide Squad and say, see, it sucked. That's why it failed. No, because Suicide Squad even made a ton more money than these movies that nobody wanted to go see that just came and went. So I tend to agree with William that if Suicide Squad had come out in a better climate, it would have made decent money. It may not have broken records. It wasn't gonna, but I mean, also we will never know. And that's
going to set the world on fire, but,
we'll never know.
The last point I wanted to make real quick was I see 187 here talking about Mandalorian as ahead of the time. Need that tech in the MCU, and it's true. They actually have the volume or the virtual production stage. They have one in LA, they have one in Atlanta, they have one in London, and they have one in Sydney.
Yeah.
And actually, Kevin Feige is moving most of the Marvel productions to Sydney because of COVID. Now, I don't know if that's going to change now because Australia's had some problems. However, Warner Brothers also has one that they opened up in Leavesden. This was announced back on June 30th of this year.
Okay.
So other studios are getting into the virtual production stage, which should, if done correctly, mitigate budgets a little bit. It should really lower them down a little bit. And then they'll be able to focus on other aspects of it. So I'm honestly saying in the next 10 years, there's probably just going to be massive shoots that are just going to be with this tech.
I wonder how good though. I mean, look, we're all watching, even the best of us are watching these stagecraft stuff like The Mandalorian on, certain size screens. I wonder how that's going to translate to the big screen.
So here's my thought on this, right? And I really think the pandemic screwed this up from happening. So go back to the season 2 premiere of Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
And so that episode is freaking amazing, right? Well, if you go back and watch it again, when we get to the third act and the crate dragon appears, you'll notice that the bars, they go away and it becomes full screen.
It was supposed to go. Oh, yes.
So my question was, were they planning? Did Jon Favreau, did he shoot that episode to release it in IMAX?
Yes.
Because that sequence right there, I remember watching it even on my 32-inch monitor here. When that opened up its frame, I was like, "Oh my God, that's an IMAX move."
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that was the angle of it. I mean, as far as I know, no one's asked him, and I would love to talk to him about that because I think that would show us precisely how that technology would showcase, because the crate dragon, just the CG in that scene alone, it looked like a feature film.
Yeah.
It looked better.
I agree.
That was the best.
Everything in that season, the next episode with the massive spider, it looked better than anything else we're getting even in freaking theaters. Even Shang-Chi didn't look as good as The Mandalorian CG wise. But it also had a bit of a smaller budget, to be fair. And so I'm wondering how much of that would translate to theatrical, and they should put the freaking Mandalorian in theaters because I'd pay money to go see it. And also I want it on 4K. I want to own it on home video. That's my bitch. That's my bitch about that.
You can do it too because of the length of the shows. I mean, you could literally put that, you could put it in there and, make
I think, here's what happened with that is I think that this was ultimately a plan but you have to go back to 2017 and look what happened with Inhumans. So when Perlmutter took that away from Kevin Feige and wanted to make it that terrible ass show, Jeff Loeb was able to go to take Marvel Television, go to IMAX and get them to shoot the first 2 episodes in IMAX and then put it in IMAX, thinking that this was going to be a Marvel movie experience only in IMAX, and it was going to rake in a ton of money, and it was god awful, and it made only a couple million, and so that kind of killed any momentum, I think, to put this stuff there. But look, Fathom events are still a big thing. Why not do more of these shows in theaters? You can easily drop it in.
Next week, Fathom events, folks. Next weekend is showing Transformers the movie in theaters.
Yeah.
Which one? The 1986 version?
Yes, the cartoon.
I saw that in the movies, man.
Isn't that the 4K? Didn't they up it to 4K?
That I don't know.
Because I think the 4K version of that is coming out. I'm not too sure how that's going to look, to be honest with you, but
a lot of childhood screwed up in that movie.
But all I'm saying is the technology is there. They've got to start theaters have got to start pushing. What's the word I want to use here? Oh, God damn it. Sorry. My brain farted. Exclusive content. How about that? Right. pushing these kind of events like the Fathom type stuff, where it's a one-time showing, and you go. I mean, would you guys go in and watch the Mandalorian season premiere in theaters?
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, like Game of Thrones season 8 should have had the first 2 episodes in freaking IMAX or something like that.
And
you know?
different writers, but yeah.
Well, Jack Black would disagree with you. Actually, he put out a TikTok yesterday where he was defending Game of Thrones. It's great, but I'm just saying that is something they could do, and that's something they should do, and hopefully, you know, the technology will push them towards that. But we'll have to wait and see. But I am going to go to bed because I'm like way past my bedtime.
All right, man.
Anyway,
All right,
thanks
well,
for letting me
for being here,
talk.
Matt. Yeah, man.
So you guys have a good one, and I'll see you.
All right. All right. Now let's we're gonna go through a few of those other things. Y'all know I'm a big toy guy. McFarlane Toys announced this over the weekend.
Ooh.
Holy stinking crap!
Yeah, that's cool.
Can I just tell you right now, this right here? Oh my God! I did not think that this was that. I would have never thought that they would put out this set that they're getting ready to put out of figures. But based on the 3 Jokers, look at that. Look, those are action figures.
That is sick.
That is not a poster.
That one with the hat, man. That is just.
Who hasn't read this series, by the way? Is there anybody?
I have not read this series.
I'm not a reader per se,
but I want to get my hands on it. I want to get my.
I'll read it to you.
I'll read it to you. You read it for my. I'll call you every night as a bedtime story. How's that?
Dude, one of the best ones in the last, I would say, besides Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, one of the best miniseries in the last maybe 2 or 3 years. I love the 3 Jokers. I love what they did with Red Hood and the 3 Jokers. You know, they took some risk. They took some risk, and
this story was insane. This story was insane.
I'm gonna go pick it up this week.
And
it's perfect that they're releasing it now with Jason Todd being on Titans.
Oh yes,
this is one of the best Jason Todd stories. Period.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And guys, I just can't believe. Like, I'm looking at this, and these are the actual action figures. Like that looks like a poster.
Nope, that's a toy, my friend.
That's a toy. Okay, so they got that, and then they got this new Red Hood.
Oh wow!
Which I guess I got to try again. By the way, I got a new Red Hood. I got my DC Essentials Red Hood review going to come out this week because I'm trying for the 3rd time to get a Red Hood that actually satisfies me. The Mattel Red Hood was fine, except for his guns don't come out of the sheaths. You know, the holsters. And so it's like, what's the point? What's the point of even showing the guns in the holster? It's Red freaking Hood, and you don't have a gun for him.
Supposed to keep him in the box, you heathen.
Shut up with that. Shut up with that.
How else are you supposed to play with them?
You're gonna tell me I'm supposed to keep. You're gonna tell me I'm supposed to keep the Mattel 6-inch DC Universe figures in the box.
The downhill slope. Once you open one box up, then you're on the worst things. What's a gateway drug? There you go. My word.
I'm in a coke field rage. No. But look, but I took the McFarlane 2-pack out with him and Dick Grayson, and the leg fell off of Red Hood, and that's that. I've played that clip over and over again. So it's just
what is Brian doing? What?
He's not in the box. What? You could take his arm and you go like this.
He's got his Superman.
He's out of the box.
He's out of the box.
See, arms move, legs move. Somebody took my flight stand.
I think we have actual like Brian is just chilling.
No, I'm really tired. I've been up since long time ago.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's
7-ish.
You know what time of day it is.
7-ish in the morning.
So let me show this. So this is the Red Hood, and then they got this Batgirl that goes along with it.
I didn't want to turn my lights on, man.
Got this Batgirl, and then this Batman from the same thing.
Oh, that's
dude,
pretty cool.
Dude, I want this whole freaking set, man. I gotta.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Red Hood looks sick with the crowbar and everything.
I mean, dude, you got Batman
I'll do
here.
analysis on my when I do my channel. That and Dead Earth are going to be the first two things. Me and Dawson are going to do Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, but I'm going to do Three Jokers too, because I really think everybody, it's must read. I think for everybody, especially if you haven't. When people come into the store and they're like, "Oh, I just saw Titans," and I'm like, I hand them those. I have the hardcover. I have everything in there. We just start here. Here you can have the Death in the Family too, but start here.
Now this is the second version of this Batgirl that they've done. They got another one, but it doesn't have the cowl. It just has the eye,
cool. I like
pieces. That. Yeah, but so you got her, and this is a completely different Red Hood. So I'm excited about that. And then
dude, that's pretty sweet.
Three Jokers, man. Like I'm so stoked. Like I haven't been really impressed with a lot of the Jokers that they've done with McFarlane. I did not like the last Joker that they did with the stupid red eyes that looked like he needed Visine. It was really, really bad. But these, my gosh, these are that Joker on the right. I mean, look at these. Like it's almost like you have a Jack Nicholson Joker. You have this Joker on the right that's just like maniacal, man. And then this, methodical Joker in the middle. I cannot wait to get these. So that's that. Real quick, moving on here. So the Fandom Menace is about ready to. I'm surprised we haven't seen about 40 videos per Fandom Menacer recently, guys. Because did you hear the news that Flight of the Navigator is getting a reboot? Flight of the Navigator is getting a reboot, but not just any reboot. Oh no, it's getting gender swapped. It's gonna be a girl.
Oh man,
This is
just
gonna be
not right.
Shut it down. Get out.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Not a girl. You can't make it a girl. Come on, guys.
Somebody come get her. She's dancing like a stripper. Hey.
Right, RJ. So I don't know. What do you guys think of the idea of a Flight of the Navigator reboot, though?
I barely knew the first one existed, to be honest with you.
Flight of the Navigator?
Just not really big on my demo. Sorry.
Oh my god, dude! This was your age group, though, man.
Not really. Nah, I was a little bit. I was a little bit older when that came out. What year did that come out? Flight of the Navigator.
86.
1986.
Yeah. Okay. By time 1986, I wasn't going to see movies like Flight of the Navigator. I was going to see Aliens. I was going to see Friday the 13th, part 5 or part 6. I had left those kind of movies behind, so
You were too old. You've
William.
outgrown the.
I wasn't too old. I just
outgrown
wasn't
it.
into those movies at that age.
It wasn't
I was
the
12.
Disney.
I was 12 in 1986. I just wasn't into those type of movies. I was in. At that age, I had settled in on violence, gore, and
yes, Spherical Man. Doomcock will make a video saying that this was his favorite movie. Now,
yeah.
Rocketeer was his favorite movie, but now we get to the real meat of it, that the Flight of the Navigator was really his favorite movie, and he has all the toys, even though they didn't make any toys for Flight of the Navigator. Look. Yeah. I have all the posters. I'm just imagining Donald Trump saying this. I have all the posters.
Get all the posters. Toys. Okay, they're huge. They're on my wall. The biggest wall that you've ever seen. Okay.
No matter what William says, the movie was huge. It was huge. It was a big movie.
Oh, I'm not
it was the
saying
biggest movie of 1986. 1986. It wasn't my. William was over there watching the Aliens. I was watching Flight of the Navigator, which is also an alien.
I was
the
3.
Best alien. The best alien there was.
The best alien that I talked to. Okay.
I made a stand up for William here. I've never seen it either.
Sorry. sorry.
I was
such a
3 in
classic.
1986. I was 3.
I'm 25. I didn't exist, so I didn't see it. That's for sure.
You got to realize, 1986. That was when canon. Everybody was just putting out good horror, bad horror. I was going to see horror. I mean, I was doing science fiction and horror and Star Trek and comic books. That's it. I didn't.
What was that one? What was that one where they built a
town.
makeshift spaceship? I saw that one.
Hold up. Enosh looks like genuinely like disappointed.
Sorry, man. I just
He's like, I'm
Flight
getting
of
rid
the
of this
Navigator is a
panel.
classic movie.
I know the
last
Ghost
movie
of the
I saw
Navigator.
was Last Starfighter.
The
Paul
song
Rubens
from
did the voice.
Iron Maiden.
We should have a watch party.
Paul Rubens did the voice of the spaceship. It's a classic movie. It's even good science fiction. It's got time travel. It's a good movie.
Okay.
I mean, I believe you. I just haven't seen it.
It's just not my ideal. I mean, the last movie I saw like that was a family type space movie. Was Last Starfighter. That was it. After that, I went full tilt violence. I went full tilt. I need to see.
Ridiculous.
We used to do in 1986. Me and my dad, when we go to the movies, we would do death counts. How many people died in the movie? And were they quality deaths?
Well, the Challenger was a thing in '86. So
blowing up. So that was in Space Camp got released too.
Well, look, Flight of the Navigator. It was a Disney film, but it was about an 8-year-old kid.
Well, stop right there. Stop right there. That's where you lost.
I was about an 8-year-old kid.
I just didn't watch them, man. I just wasn't.
You're probably also too good for Last Starfighter too, weren't you?
No, I saw Last Starfighter. That was one of the last movies of that type that I saw in the mid '80s. You got to realize I had a smorgasbord of violence in front of me at all times. And
this is crack, rock cocaine.
And 1986 is when crack did explode. But yeah, that's a different thing.
I'm just saying it's about an 8-year-old. I'm sorry, no, he wasn't 8. He was older than 8. I'm sorry, he was like 12 or 13. I think he was 13, and he goes off and he ends up being abducted basically by an alien and taken 8 years into the future is what it is. He's taken 8 years, or no, is it 8 years in the future? Yeah, because he's supposed to be in his 20s when he comes back, and he's been missing this entire time, and he comes back, but he has not aged, but the rest of his family has. And so he's now in this in a different world where he's been missing for 8 years. NASA takes him in and stuff, and the spaceship has downloaded all of its knowledge into his head. And so he's got all these schematics, he's got all this stuff and everything, and the ship comes and finds him, and then they go off on like this adventure and stuff. And Paul Rubens does the voice of the spaceship, and it's very touching. Guys, if you haven't seen Flight of the Navigator, I'm just saying, watch Flight of the Navigator then, okay? Because like I thought I was going to make some Phantom Menace jokes about this, but my God, just go watch the freaking movie.
The remake, the reboot might be the first time I ever.
Sorry, man. No,
I don't mean to take wind out of the sails.
I don't care.
If it's on Disney Plus, I will watch it.
I think it is on Disney Plus, but seriously, like I don't care about it being gender swap. Like it could be a girl. I don't care, whatever. But you got to watch the original though. Benson Super Chat says Lou Gossett Jr. was busy with Iron Eagles in 1986.
I saw that in the movies. I grew up on an Air Force base. We had to.
Dude, it had One Vision from Queen in it, man. I love that song.
No, it had some other crappy pseudo hairband.
I had Queen in it though. It had Queen in it though.
To answer your question though about how I feel about gender swap or anything like that, listen, gender swap, race swap, as long as it doesn't take away from the culture, or if that is part of the character's identity, like if being black is part of the character's identity in a movie. I mean, if you race swap them, you're changing the character and thus changing the story. If being a female or a male is a critical part in that person's story, then I say don't change it. If it's not, then have at it. And that's to me, that's it. But every time I've seen it done, like with Nick Fury, most people saw Nick Fury for the first time as Samuel L. Jackson, and because they took him out of World War II and made him contemporary, his race wasn't as big a factor as it would have been in the comics.
Thank you, Spherical Man.
I'm not saying
because he hasn't seen it in a long time, but it's an excellent movie. It is an excellent. I'm not saying it's huge, really big.
Top Gun came out in '86. I saw that.
Okay, I got a question.
Benson says, "Have you seen the life story documentary of the actor from Flight of the Navigator? He really messed stuff up." I have not.
Oh yeah,
Anthony Grigsby, welcome to the conversation, my friend. Yes, I did see that they announced, and you know who is directing the remake though? Is what's her? No,
Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah.
No, Bryce Dallas Howard is directing the reboot.
Which, if anything, she's proven she's a phenomenal director with The Mandalorian. So I'll definitely.
Woke.
Oh God. Okay, yeah, shut it down.
Honestly, dude, I'm so beyond caring what they have to say about things. So it's like, all right, cool. That's
I never
like
watched
your
these people.
opinion,
I
man.
don't care about them to you guys.
Honestly, dude, I gave up, man.
All these people that you guys bring up, I only know who they are through you guys, except for the one guy from the Midnight's Edge. That's because he destroys Star Trek, and YouTube always thinks I want to watch him. What's the guy with the glasses and the hat?
Yeah,
Look, Mark,
I still
Mark,
get recommended
I'll say this.
the videos. Though,
Mark, I'll
man.
say, I get recommended all those videos. Look, Mark, I'll say this about this comment. So I think it's a little bit different because, first of all, that movie came out in '86, so there's been a long time passed since Flight of the Navigator came out, and obviously a lot of people haven't seen the first one. I would just tell you, watch the first one, guys. Like, the first one's great. Like,
we're gonna get messages tomorrow.
The Hillary Swank Karate Kid thing, I think, was a little too fresh at the time, and people really didn't want Hillary Swank Karate Kid, right? They weren't looking for that. Yeah, they weren't really looking for that, but it was a lot closer to original Karate Kid, and people loved. I mean, Karate Kid was a beloved, film franchise that just kind of ran its course, But, anyways, all I wanted to say was I think it's interesting. Bryce Dallas Howard is directing the reboot. I don't care if it's female or male. It may or may not be really good. I don't care, but it's for Disney Plus. And it's a childhood movie that I loved growing up. And I would suggest, if you got kids, watch the film with your kids. If you don't have kids, just watch it. It's a nice Saturday afternoon movie. It's, like I said, it's got Paul Rubens in it, Pee Wee Herman. And it's kind of got a sci-fi twist to it. It's a fun film. That's all I will say about that. Now, just quickly, probably something else that nobody else cares about, but I kind of do before the last thing that I know people will care about. Did anybody see the teaser trailer for Paranormal Activity: Next of Kin?
I didn't even know they put out a trailer, but I want to see this movie. I've seen
Heck
all the
yeah.
Paranormal Activities, so yes, I do care about this one.
So Paranormal Activity is something that is special to me because Tiffany and I, one of our first dates was watching Paranormal Activity together. The first one, the original. And I'll be honest with you, that first movie is brilliant. That first movie was really put together well and uses a lot of cinematic things to get its point across. The quality of them went down over the series, and and they really didn't connect points that they should have or whatever. But this is supposed to be a reboot, but yet they're still talking about it as being the 7th film. So I don't understand how that works because you're saying it's a reboot, but this is going to be a completely different thing. If you watched the originals, this is about a girl. It says Paramount Plus. This is going straight to Paramount Plus. It is not going to be in theaters. It says they've released the trailer. I watched the trailer before the show tonight. This is the 7th entry in the horror franchise that launched in 2007, and the first new entry in the series since 2015. Emily Bader, Roland Buck III, Dan Lippert, and Henry Ayers Brown. I don't know.
It's not a reboot, by the way. Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you. It's not a reboot because we've gotten some info on this because we've been helping promote it. It's not. It's a continuation. It's just like they mistakenly called Candyman, the new Candyman movie, a reboot. They really need to stop using that word. These movies are continuations, and
good.
I actually think it hurts the box office on some
probably,
chances. But no, these are continuations. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I'm glad to hear that then, because to be honest with you, that was I was like that. I would love to see it continue because they left so many things up in the air. But it says it stars in this reimagining of the horror franchise, which this time involves the return of a long lost daughter to an Amish community. William Eubank directs from a script by Christopher Landon, and the film will exclusively debut on Paramount Plus when it comes out on October 29th. Now, I watched the trailer. The trailer looks very interesting. I think it plays on some of the tropes that people have sometimes of like the Amish communities and stuff. Like I know a bunch of people actually who are Amish or Mennonite, and it's really not that weird, but you know, people have this like stereotypical, you know, they think, oh, you know, they don't have electricity. Yeah, they don't have electricity. They're just weird, you know, crazy people. They're not. They're very, very nice people. There's a lot of Amish communities actually here in Michigan, and you know, they're just normal people. They look and dress kind of, you know, back in the past, whatever. But this kind of plays on a lot of those tropes where it's got this creepiness that it plays into, and it's got some scary stuff, but it does have this girl here who's dressed in like contemporary clothes. And at the end of the trailer, she gets picked up in the air and they're kind of thrown around and she's like screaming and yelling. I can't tell if this is supposed to be found footage or a traditional film or a mixture of both. Do you know anything about that, William?
Say that again. Your sound cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, do you know anything about this? I can't tell if this is supposed to be found footage or a traditional film.
The email I got it's found footage, but they're kind of vague as far as that goes. But if they generalize it with found footage, you know, that's the genre. When they speak about it, when they're describing it, found footage is a genre. I didn't specifically see whether this movie was. It is considered a found footage movie, but they didn't give a lot of info and the stuff that because there's like a link that I got to post on one of my sites.
Thank you, Big Dub Reactions.
I'm looking for the email.
I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy Flight of the Navigator. Just saying. All right. Yeah. Look, I love the franchise. What do you think of the franchise, William? As a whole,
I liked it. I mean, the first one was really good. I think it did wane with each movie. It didn't catapult. It didn't. You know, it's diminishing returns. And so yeah, the email I got, it's not a reboot to Dimension, the Ghost Dimension, but I've heard other things that it's a continuation. So it may not be a direct sequel to that particular movie, but I don't think they're rebooting the entire franchise. But like I said, it's it got to the point. I think Paranormal Activity, it fell victim to a lot of other things happening around that time that capitalized off of it, like a lot of shows. I mean, things like that. I think it kind of saturated the market at one point to where it was like, you know, another one. It's like zombie movies, unfortunately. That's why I didn't want to see Army of the Dead. The only reason I saw Army of the Dead is because it's a Zack Snyder movie. I'm zombied out, man. I'm zombied out. I mean, but I'll go see this, or I'll see it on Paramount. I have Paramount Plus. I have every streaming service.
Right.
So I'll see it.
I mean, I remember the first one was really good and scary, and I saw that with my grandma because we liked watching all the scary supernatural movies together and stuff. Nice. But then all the other ones, I think we would go and see them, like my friends and I, as a joke, like in theater. We just go to laugh. So I mean, I never hated the franchise or anything. I actually thought it started really strong, like you guys said, and then it went off. But I mean, I think there's a strong opportunity for it to come back because people love the whole found footage thing. And if it's
I'm here, bro. I'm here. I'm just tired. Sorry.
First found footage movie I saw was Blair Witch Project, and I'm surprised I saw another one after that. I hate that movie with a passion.
I don't like horror films either, so that's kind of why I'm just like, whatever. I don't have anything to contribute at this point.
Well, see, it's interesting that you say that because I remember going to see the Blair Witch Project, and of course, this was in our naive, you know.
I thought it was real. Like, are you serious?
Well, it wasn't that I thought it was real. I just thought it was interesting, and people were talking about it like it was. When I saw it for what it was, I was pissed off. Like honestly, I was really ticked off, and I was ticked off at the way it ended and how they did the whole thing. And I was like, what in the world? But
I still haven't watched that movie.
So let me say this. I say that then. But 2 days later, I was alone.
Oh no!
In my room, and I worked third shift at the time, so I got home from work, and I had a window that I would put like I put a board game board, up in the window because it was like a small little window, and and it made my room almost look twilighty, but just to get out enough light. I didn't have anything to totally block out the sun, and I laid there. And I just I'm trying to go to sleep, and I'm thinking about that movie because I was so ticked off at that movie. I'm like, this movie was stupid. It wasn't scary at all. That was dumb. I started thinking about, oh yeah, well, they were going through the woods and stuff. I'm trying to think, man, that could have been so much better if they had shown something at the end or whatever. And I started thinking about the old man and what he was talking about with the kids and how they put him in the corner, and I was like, wait a second, that's what happened with what's his name and that old house, and what happened here? And I started freaking myself out. And I kid you not, I had to take the thing out of the window because I freaked myself out, and wow. I could not sleep. It was like it got to me, and now look, I look back on it, and it's something I don't hate anymore. I hated it my first viewing, but subsequent viewings I don't hate it. It just the second one was bad. The second one was bad, and then this last one that they just tried to do to try to try to play into it and stuff like that. It just
yeah. Well, the problem with doing found footage movies when everybody has cell phone cameras that are like nobody cares. And listen, that movie had a time and a place. If it had been released any time but the summer of '99, it would have just been like, are you serious? I'm not going to go through this, but it got released.
Yes,
right
Gavin.
Time.
Yes, Gavin, the hash slinging slasher came for me. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because my kids had a principal at their middle school whose name was Mrs. Hashslinger.
Oh my God.
And we used to say that all the time. Like, the hash slinging slasher is coming. But look, I'm going to give this a shot. I know Tiffany and I will watch it. Like, I hope it's good. Like, I always hope the best.
Well, if it's on streaming, you're not really risking anything. You're not making the investment to go out and risk your health or go out and spend a bunch of money and get snacks and everything. And that's what streaming does. That's why I say, Dune. Streaming is going to give movies that people will never see a shot.
Yes.
They will, and it's going to come to the point where people seeing your movie is going to be as important as box office, because that's how you're going to leverage your subscribers and your investors and your financiers. Your money's just going to come from a different place. And like I said, Dune, I know a lot of people who are just not going to give Dune a shot if they got to pay or take some kids to it. It's just not that type of movie. But if you're sitting on your ass at home and you got your Roku, your remote in your hand, and you just hit on HBO Max, that's all. And if you don't like it, guess what? You can turn it off.
Yeah,
you can turn it off. But when you pay for a movie, you pay for Paranormal Activity, and you're sitting through there. I mean, you're walking out on a $100 investment. I've only walked out of 2 movies in my life, and Dude, Where's My Car was one of them because I got conned into going to see that with Army Men.
But dude, it was sweet.
It was the Continuum Transfunctionaire.
But what's mine say?
Yeah,
dude,
that movie gave us Jennifer Gardner, and that's it. That's the only redeeming quality.
Sweet.
Brian's like, that's enough for me.
I love that movie. What are you talking about?
So hey guys, just a shout out to everybody. There are 36 likes on this video and 48 people watching. Hey, if you haven't already, give this video a like.
2:45 in the morning. That's actually pretty good.
Damn
yes,
right.
I would appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna move through because I gotta be able to take my son to school.
I'm about to say, don't tell me
it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
I know, right? It's gonna be 6 in the morning here pretty soon.
If you have to go to work,
I might as well stay up, man.
It's my day off though, so at least I get to come home and go back to bed. All right. Shang-Chi rules for the 3rd weekend. Now look, we were talking about box office stuff earlier, and I get it that this is a different time we're in right now, but I gotta say this for all the people who griped and complained and said that this was going to be a flop, that nobody was going to care, that it was going to die, whatever. Listen, this movie made almost this weekend what Suicide Squad made its opening weekend.
In its 3rd weekend.
Well, that's not fair. That's not a fair comparison. You know why? One movie shouldn't have been made, and the other one should have been. So. Listen, hold on. Here's my point. You took Shang-Chi, outside of comic book nerds like myself, nobody knows who the hell that is, right?
Yeah.
You took that movie, and because it had a formula and it had a place to be in the sea of movies that are connected to it, that movie did well. If that had just been a regular kung fu movie, not associated with Marvel, who knows what it would have been done. But it fits as part of their puzzle. You got Suicide Squad out there on that island. Why am I seeing this? What does it connect to? Yeah, it looks fun. You know, and a lot. If like I said,
Well, okay, hold on. Let me stop you there though, because I think the average person who's just out there, look, we know where. Look, some of us, even who are DC fans, aren't quite sure where that movie fits in with the DC universe because it's not a complete reboot. It's got a lot of the same characters in it that the original one had in it. James Gunn has kind of alluded to that it is a semi sequel to that first movie. I know that there's a lot of people who don't want to admit that and they don't want it to be
But
one.
what did you do with Suicide Squad though? That movie's out. The original Suicide Squad is on its own island. So you got two movies on an island that aren't connected to anything or have been disconnected from everything, and now you want people to go see the new one you put out. You got to give people a reason to jump. You know?
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying though, you know, people had reason to know what the Suicide Squad was all about. It's got Harley Quinn in it, and this was her
third.
But did they have
third
reason to go
appearance?
see it? Knowing who they are and having reason to being compelled to go see it are two different things.
Well, I don't know.
I agree with you. I agree with you in that it doesn't connect and doesn't agree, right. But I wouldn't say that it necessarily shouldn't have been made. I mean, Joker shouldn't have been made. It made $1 billion. You know,
yeah,
I mean, the argument for that is like no movie should technically be made. You know. So I do agree with you. Yes, it doesn't connect and it doesn't like lead into anything. But I wouldn't necessarily.
My point is this. Third week, and I'll even bring up Benson's comment. He says Shang Borchi was another Marvel paint by numbers movie, and so
that formula works though.
That's fine. It's fine that the formula works. My point is this. This is the third week of that film. If the movie was just, hey, paint by numbers, look what happened with Black Widow, for example. Black Widow wasn't, dropping numbers, whatever. But the thing is it made what it needed to make, and it did, decent for the time that it was. It made what it was going to make. But the thing is that, yes, I get it that, yes, it's another Marvel movie. I completely understand that. Look, we've been down this route a million times. But when you're talking the third week in the middle of a pandemic and you got a movie that's still got legs in Shang-Chi, it's word of mouth. It's people coming into that movie, seeing that. You can't take that away from that. Look, as much as a DC fan as I am, and as much as all day long I will defend my love for DC over Marvel any day. And look, I've had people literally hate me over time for saying anything negative over. No, I'm just saying there are people though who have said like knocked me hard for saying anything negative about a Marvel movie, that I'm just a shill for DC, and that I don't respect Marvel or whatever. And I'll play clips like this all day.
Okay, let's go see this latest piece of Marvel shit you kids are jizzing over.
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is that, yeah, with this movie, it still has legs. It still has word of mouth. It still has people who, and if you ask me straight up, do I think Free Guy is a better movie than this? Yeah. Free Guy is in its 6th week, and we can look at it. We can look at it right now. What does it say? Because this actually has the information on it.
I have some cold hard logic to drop, and then I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, man. All right, bro.
All right. So a lot of these, we're talking the third week's box office.
Yeah.
Okay. So usually when I watch a movie, I don't really watch it again until it comes out on streaming or whatever, in most cases, unless it's something really good. With Suicide Squad, the one thing I don't quite understand, and why people don't understand this, is that movie released at the same time on streaming platform that it did in the movie theaters. So sure, you probably went and saw it the first weekend, but that second weekend, Everybody's watching it on HBO Max, dude. What incentive do you have to go to watch it again? Shang-Chi only is in the theaters, meaning the only incentive you have to watch this movie again is to take your ass back to the theaters. So to cast aspersions or say anything, we are negating the fact that Suicide Squad opened up on HBO Max.
Yep.
Same thing with Black Widow. Pay $30, don't have to go back to the theaters to watch it again.
It's still a lot of money if you don't have a family.
I still don't care, man. I'm just saying. That's why it hurt it in the box office.
That's true. To that point, I saw Shang-Chi once with my friends, and then a week and a half later, my mom, who hasn't seen a Marvel movie in 5 years, goes, "Hey, somebody told me this is good. Want to go see it with me?" So I go and see it again. So yeah, that's exactly.
But here's the thing, though.
That's
Here's the thing,
huge.
Continuity.
Yeah.
Continuity matters. The fact that the movie.
I got you there, but the rewatchability is what gets that money.
People, I get the continuity thing, but continuity gets people in there the first time to see it that first time.
But if you, like I asked Matt before, if you took HBO Max and you took the Delta variant out of the equation, that movie still probably struggles.
Well, it's still DC.
Nah,
I mean,
it's going to struggle, dude. But it ain't. Hold on. But hold on. It may struggle, but it depends on what your definition of struggle is. Because the thing is I feel that movie would have still, if we were right now in a non-COVID situation, James Gunn's name would have had a lot more pull for that movie. Would have made a lot more difference because it would have actually pulled people into the seats. There's people who just looked at it and said, one, it's a Suicide Squad movie. Maybe I didn't really care for that first one. Maybe I don't really care for DC films in the first place. So why would I go out in the middle of this and go see it? So I'm saying, if it's a non-COVID situation with people with the advertisements of James Gunn and everything, and they know that James Gunn has made Marvel movies that they love, I feel that it has actually a lot more pull. But again, at the end of the day,
it draws less than the original.
Well, you know what? We're never going to know. We're never going to know. It's going to be all speculation, and speculation's great. But what I'm saying is also we're comparing it to a Shang-Chi movie that I guarantee you, no matter what, if this was a non COVID situation and Shang-Chi has good word of mouth and everything, look, we're not going to be even discussing that Shang-Chi makes less than Suicide Squad.
Marvel hasn't damaged their brand like the WB. That's what I mean.
I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. We're saying the same thing, though, dude. Is what I'm saying. We're saying the same thing. The point is this: Marvel and Disney Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings once again ruled the U.S. domestic box office this week. We can only report what's going on right now. It's taking the top spot with an estimated gross of just under $22 million. The number brings its domestic total to around $177 million so far, which is well less than what it would have made in week 3 domestically. Let's be honest. 20th Century Studios Free Guy is expected to take the second spot, which, by the way, Free Guy, probably the best movie I've seen in theaters so far this year. Definitely the best movie I've seen in theaters so far this year. If you haven't seen Free Guy, see Free Guy. You'll like it. You'll probably love it.
Peace out, guys. Take it easy.
All right, man. Hey, Brian, we love you, man. We'll see you soon.
Have a good night, guys.
Have a good one.
It's bad.
All right.
Love you.
Yeah.
All right. But it's expected to take the second spot in its 6th week of release with another 4.9 million over the weekend. Clint Eastwood's Cry Macho is expected to debut in 3rd with around 4.5. Candyman will come in 4th with 3.5. Malignant will be 5th with 2.5. And Cop Shop will be 6th with 2.3 million. Meanwhile, Dune surpassed expectations overseas, harvesting 36.8 million. William talked about that earlier at the international box office from just 24 markets in early release. So I will say this. Mark, I don't know how it is over there, but right now over here, there's plenty in theaters right now. There are several films right now in theaters. They're different types of films. Is everything a superhero kid box office movie? No, but you got 2 movies right now in Shang-Chi and Free Guy that I feel fit the bill for like a family movie. You got some more adult oriented movies, and plus most theaters right now are showing older movies and whatnot, and there's reasons to go to the film. So there still is a lot right now here, at least at least by me, and I got a theater literally 2 minutes up the road from me, and I'm friends with the manager. And so, look, man, that guy's been in this business for over 35 years. And him and I talk a lot about this stuff. Every time I go to a movie, him and I talk about the current state of films, the current state of theaters, the current state of how these movies are coming out and being shown and whatnot. And that guy's got a lot of knowledge, and he has seen a lot in this movie industry. The thing right now is we're in I hate the term, but we're in an unprecedented time when it comes to films and when it comes to how people go to see films. And look, I'll agree totally. Brian hit the nail on the head with a lot of it, because you know what the thing is if Suicide Squad doesn't come out on HBO Max, guess what? More people go see it. Point blank, more people go see it. The movie didn't suck. I know that, look, it's subjective, and there's going to be people always out there who say, yeah, the Suicide Squad sucked.
I thought it
okay,
was
but I liked it. But here's the point. If you don't do these things of, hey, you can either watch it at home or you can watch it in the theater, more people go see the film. And people like me, like if especially with a movie like Suicide Squad that you don't even have to pay more to see it at home, it's like, oh, you got HBO Max? Oh, you can just watch it. Well, here's the thing. I went to go see Suicide Squad at the theater. Do you think the second time I went to see it, or the second time I saw it, that I went back to the theater? Nope.
I saw it 4 more times here at home.
Exactly. So here's the thing, is Shang-Chi, look, has the definite advantage even when it comes to that, because it's not on a streaming service. You can't just watch it at home unless you're going to pirate it or something. Like you can't just go back and just easily just go, well, I'm just going to watch it at home now. I saw it at the theater. I got it on the big screen. I got that, out of my system, and now I'm going to do this. The thing is movies make their money. It's not like, when these movies make $1 billion, it's not like a whole new wave of people are going to see it every week. Right? It's not like, well, this weekend, 5 million people went out and watched this movie, and next weekend, okay, it's another 5 million's turn to go watch the film. No, it's people like what Austin just said. He went to go see the movie once with his friends. The next week, all of a sudden, his grandma was like, hey, I want to go see this film. And he's like, yeah, I'll go see it with you, grandma.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so that he may have not, Austin, I doubt, would you have just picked up and said, hey, I'm going to go see Shang-Chi again by myself?
No.
Right? So the thing is movies make money residually too, because friends talk and somebody's like, hey man, I want to go see Shang-Chi, and but I don't want to go by myself. Will you go with me? Did you see it? Yeah, man, I saw it. I really liked it.
One of my grandma's friends went with her family, told my grandma, and she's like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Right. So these conversations happen every day where somebody says, well, hey, did you see Shang-Chi? Yeah, I saw it. Did you like it? Yeah, I really liked it. Would you go see it again? Well, I don't know. Well, I haven't seen it. Would you go see it with me? Yeah, I'll go see it.
Yeah.
Right. And then that movie makes an extra ticket sale. Okay. And then you have to multiply that several times over, all over the country, all over the world, because those conversations are absolutely happening. And so, the movie has that kind of staying power. Look, this movie has legs, right? So this movie does have legs. You got to admit, like when Suicide Squad opening weekend makes, what was it, just shy of 26 million, and this movie in its third week, you could say it's the Marvel thing, you could say whatever, but listen, if a movie sucks, people just don't go back and see it. Okay, they just don't go back and see it. They may look, the Marvel thing may get people in the seats that first time, and maybe even a second time if people are like, I don't know if I like that, I want to go back and see it again.
Right.
But when a movie's in its third week and it's still doing this well, which for right now, I know in normal circumstances, $22 million ain't well.
Yeah, being
right now,
having
right now,
the third week in the middle of this, I'm pretty sure there's some people the people who get paid out are not as happy as they would be without COVID. But it is the world we live in, and what they've done with their universe was the right way. I just am very confident in my statement that even if you take HBO Max out of the equation and Delta out of the equation, there's just this movie suffers from no momentum and not being catapulted into the next thing. It probably makes just under what its predecessor makes, which would be great movie. It would be decent money because that movie, the original, wasn't supposed to make that. But like I said, you got 2 movies out on the island. I think it would have done about maybe 600 million because the original one did 678 million. But that was with Jared Leto in it. That was with a lot of the people who were watching the original connected movies going into it. Remember, there was a time when anybody I talked to that went from one movie to another was going. A lot of people that saw Aquaman, when we did our survey on Aquaman, and people realized that it wasn't really as connected to the Snyderverse as they thought, a lot of people would have passed on that movie. A lot of people that I know went to see that movie because they thought that they were seeing the continuation of what they had seen, and so on and so on. So if you take that out of the equation, yeah, China still does well, but the fact that Jason Momoa is a MILF magnet, but you still have some people that don't give it a chance. That continuity matters. Like I said, I will never know. You're correct, but I am going to die on that rock that those factors are excuses for Suicide Squad, because I think if that movie was released without those factors, it draws less than the original, and you had more reason to see the original because of the fact that was before Harley Quinn's brand had been damaged. Because Birds of Prey really kind of took a lot of the steam off of that character. Still a marketable character, but it was a bad movie, another movie that shouldn't have been made. So now we're going on our third movie where the first appearance of her was the original Suicide Squad. So you had more reason to see that first one than you had to see that second one. So I think they draw, with perfect scenario, they draw considerably less than the original. And for Warner Brothers, remember what Warner Brothers' standards are as far as success goes. We've all paid that price.
Well, Gavin, I agree with you, man. Like, we did that last October. We rented out a theater and we had a bunch of people. God, I can't believe that's been almost a year now. That's just insane to me.
May. Well, it was May, wasn't it?
God. No, dude. We rented out that theater in October and had everybody here and watch Star Wars.
I thought you said Godzilla versus Kong. I'm looking. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. When we did it, but yeah, I would just tell anybody if you get a chance to do it.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Jared, you know what? Here's the thing, man. John Campea, like that. Yeah, that's we all know Shang-Chi. Look,
it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. Is it my favorite movie? No. Is it the best MCU movie? Absolutely not. John Campea is like, I don't know. He's talking out his butt with that stuff.
He said Suicide Squad was his second favorite movie of all the DC movies. And I'm like, yeah, that's subjective because Suicide Squad wasn't even in my top. It's near the bottom. I mean, there are certain movies that are under it, like obviously 2017 Justice League. It was a fun movie. I liked it, but like I said, they have to fix the Suicide Squad problem that they have. They have to fix these things because they have nothing that catapults you into the excitement realm for their next movie. That, like I said, make Suicide Squad in a couple of years once you put everything together. And I know who my Superman is, and I know who my Batman is, and I know everything's going on. Because remember, the original Suicide Squad was designed to fit within the lexicon of those original movies. And now you have a movie that doesn't fit with anything, but an HBO show that I may or may not watch.
That's true. And to that point too, it's hard to have a Suicide Squad too when you don't have the superheroes to their super villains or aren't sure.
Exactly. They literally exist to be the yang to their yin. So
yeah,
it's just been so poorly managed.
Yeah.
And like I said, I see what they're doing with change. That's the right way to do things because they've done it to the point where they can put anything in their slot and it's going to do well. And you might get a gold nugget to where it not only does it do well because of that formula, but if it's a great movie, it does even better. They have that benefit of the doubt because they've earned it. These guys on the other end have not earned enough benefit of the doubt to make movies like Suicide Squad, great as it was, and have it do well as their other movies because nothing is connected to their other movies. And you're building a case. You haven't built the case yet.
Yeah.
So that's just the problem right now that they're going to have to fix because it's not a Marvel thing. It's a comic book thing. It's a continuity thing. People want to feel that what they're investing in with is not done once they get up and leave. They want that next thing. So
that's true.
Well, I want to thank Hans tonight for becoming our newest member. Thank you, Hans. Welcome to membership. Thank you to everyone who participated in the chat tonight, just giving your opinions and your thoughts. We always welcome everybody's thoughts and opinions. And we may not always agree, but you know what? We're like good friends who get together. We argue, we spar over our nerd fandoms. And then, you know what? We give each other a big hug. And then we go home for the night. And you know what? And we say, hey, I can't wait to do this all again. And give each other a hard time over it all. And you know why that is? It's because we're a bunch
Nerds.
We're a bunch of nerds. That's right. That's right. And so I want to thank everybody who's on the panel tonight. Thank Matt Jarbo for coming in. Brian, man, who stayed awake for a little while. And
Long past his bedtime, poor guy.
Well past his bedtime. Yeah, for sure. And we were on Ill Life stream tonight. I wasn't planning on streaming, man. Like I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm tired. And then like I got done, dude, and I started making something to eat, and I was like,
got a second wind.
Yeah, I was like, I could sit here and just watch something on TV and maybe fall asleep on the couch, or you know what, screw it. There's a couple topics out there. I could have some fun with some friends, and I didn't even know. I thought I might even stream by myself because that's why I messaged my I got a little group.
Anyone awake?
Said, is anyone awake? Let's do it. So we started like at 3:30, and it was fun. But thank you to William, the wise, always William. William, tell people where they can find you there, sir.
Vegas, or just Google the Sci-Fi Center, and all my stuff pops up.
Yeah.
Even if Austin never looks for it, never comes by.
I'm coming by. And
you're right there, dude.
For Dune, and I will be. Yes, I know. I'm preparing.
William,
whole thing.
William, did Wayne T. Carr ever come by?
He did not make it. We did not connect.
Oh, bummer. That's too bad. That's too bad. That's a fail. Well,
yeah, Austin. Yeah, all right.
Right.
He was probably busy doing other things.
I hope it wasn't that. And if it was,
shit my pants.
We made it so far. We made it to the end.
It's a small city, by the way. It's not like we live in Manhattan or.
By the way, I was told the next time that I streamed, I had to use this clip just because it's apparently in the news.
His testicle sack is now so large, he has to wear a huge hoodie upside down instead of trousers.
Something to do with what's her name?
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj.
Her cousins apparently had a side effect of the COVID vaccine and it made their testicles enlarge. And that's it. That's all you need to know. Please don't play that drop again. I can't take it.
Well, I could play the other drop that you told me that I risked getting in trouble for.
No, because I actually want to appear on your show again. And when you get canceled for that one, I don't have anywhere to go.
Oh my God! 187. 187, man, is the newest member of the Poindexter Lounge. Look at you guys. That's a 2-member stream. I love that. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. 187.
Those end drops there that got him. That he was like, I can't not be a member now.
Right. Hey, Benson's. You know, man, I love you, and I totally understand what you're saying. Here's the thing, man. Is that we're not mocking him. We're not doing anything like that. It is truly just
who's dead? Who's he talking
about? The guy whose testicle sack is large like that. But listen, we talk about a lot of people who pass around. I talk about Macho Man Randy Savage. I literally do a Macho Man Randy Savage impersonation. Macho Man has been gone for many years now and tragically passed in a car accident. There are people who pass. My mother has passed. We have people in our life who pass. It doesn't mean we never talk about them anymore. So I respectfully understand that point. And look, my condolences go out to him and his family, and anybody else who passes. And it is definitely a part of life. And I'll be honest with you, at my funeral, I already planned out. I am literally making my own video, like for my funeral. And I had this planned long before I ever had a YouTube channel or anything like that. Because there's things that I want to say at my funeral. I want my funeral to be a happy, fun place where people are laughing and joking. And I never want people to stop enjoying the funny, quirky things that were about me when I was alive, or whatever. I want people to always remember me for all those things, my imperfections, man. When I was 432 pounds and waddling around, man, like I look back now on some of those videos. I just saw somebody was commented on a video that I did when I was that large. Oh, the first picture I saw of Tyler Hecklin was I was that big, and somebody just commented this week on it, and I went, wow, dang, right, you know. And like Tiffany and I were joking about that. Like we'll joke about it every once in a while and be like, hey, it's fat us, you know. But you know, like I wouldn't undo that, you know, for anything. So I think this question is to me, how much does it cost to run a church for 6 hours? So here's the thing about that. Most time churches don't just rent their place out. It doesn't really work like that. It's not like a public hall. There are some churches that will rent, that have halls like attached to their church or something like that. But typically there are a lot of prerequisites for that. It's not as simple as just calling up the place and asking. Typically
issues, you got
yeah, well, I mean, and we have all that. We have all that for events and stuff like that.
Right.
But typically we set our own rules. It has nothing really to do with insurance, because we have insurance for stuff like that. It really just typically has to do with, this is our building and we're very particular about who is in it.
Right.
So a lot of times, like even like if you want to get married in a church, you can't just call up any church and be like, hey, can I get married in your church? There's a lot of prerequisites that go with that. Like, well, one, like, do you come to this church? Right? Like a lot of churches have rules where, like, unless you go to the church, you can't get married in that church. Like even the building, like even if it's not like a Catholic wedding kind of, Catholic weddings are completely different. The Catholic denomination, like you can't just do that. But like sometimes churches will allow for like other ministers to come in and perform a wedding. So it's not the pastor that's there at that church, but it has to do with, whether or not they're in the same denomination or stuff like that. But like my church, for example, we bought an adjacent property. Our church bought this adjacent property where there was a Knights of Columbus Hall, and we bought that Knights of Columbus Hall. Now that is our youth center, where it's called the Hub, and we got like a cool place over there for youth and stuff like that. And people still call us up to try to use that as a hall, and we've just we've got a lot of rules with that, because we have to supply a cleaning crew. We have to supply people to make sure it's taken care of. Somebody's got to be manned to be there and stuff. So there's no real answer to that. Yeah. It's literally across the board. You're going to call, if you were literally to call some places, they would tell you, no, we don't do that. And other places might tell you, some other thing. Like everybody place is going to be different. So yeah. I couldn't tell you. It's not like just renting a hall or something like that. So, but yeah, hey, Gavin says, I want my funeral to be sad. so I'm literally going to play Marley and Me at the ending of Gladiator, so everybody is crying. Wow. You know what I'm going to play at mine? This right here. So everybody has to sit there for 4.5 hours and listen to, and finally, if whoever has watched it and is a fan will be like, sweet, we get to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League at Enosh's funeral. And the people who've never watched it will have to go, crap, we actually have to sit here and watch the thing that Enosh has been chattering about.
The Wonder Woman's shield on you and the sword like she's being buried.
Right. Oh my gosh, dude!
I'll really make people cry at my funeral. You'll have to sit and watch through the entirety of all the Transformers movies. Michael Bay Transformers.
Once I get past the first one, then I'm going to be hurt.
Yeah, you'll make it past the first one. It's going to be
the
really
first
sad.
one was actually quite good. The second ones weren't. It's just carbon copy after that. And I like that particular filmmaker, so.
Michael Bay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like we all have things about that, and look, everybody handles death in a different way. But like even when I dress up as Macho Man, like I don't look at that as being disrespectful, to Macho Man. I love Macho Man, and it's out of respect, and I think it's important that we keep people's, keep people alive that way, Yeah. Once somebody appears on TV or in one of those kind of situations, movies or whatever, we keep them alive through keeping the conversation going. And so that's just, I'm gonna play All Dogs Go to Heaven. I'm gonna make them watch All Dogs Go to Heaven, so they're all weeping for me.
Oh my gosh, that's just messed up. That's a child that's a kids movie. That All Dogs Go to Heaven. That's just too sad to be a kids movie. Should not be a kids movie.
Never Ending Story was brutal.
Atreyu, Falcor.
There's a lot of people who blame their lives not turning out right because of that damn horse in the swamp pit. So, oh well.
I know. It's crazy. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for everybody being here tonight. Listen, like I always say, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter. Don't tell anybody that their fandom doesn't matter. Probably not a good idea to have a bunch of people watch Old Yeller at your funeral, unless you really want them to cry.
Cujo. Choose Cujo.
Cujo. But you know what? Have fun. Don't take life too seriously. Try to have fun with the time that you are here, right? And enjoy yourself. And look, treat each other with respect, right? Seek to have good conversations, and that's what we do. We may not always agree, and that's fine. You're not going to agree with everybody on this planet, trust me. But you know what? Keep the conversations going. Jared says, "Oh, and my birthday is Wednesday, by the way." Well, guess what? My birthday is what's today? The 21st or the 20th? Oh, okay. So that would mean, my birthday is Friday.
Hey, big 5-0, man! Congratulations!
No, not 5-0. Hey. I got 5 more years till that.
Not everybody makes it that far, dude. You know?
I know. I'm going to be 45 this Friday.
Big 25, right? Big 25.
Big 25. I feel like I'm 25. I'll say that. So, Speedo Kagan, what's up to you, brother? Yes. Love you guys. Yes. 70. Get out of here. You do suck. Sweet. 2 cents Enosh. 2 cents Enosh. Hey, you know what? Tweet at Johnny Pop. His computer was down this week. His computer was he literally sent me a text of he had like blue screens of death. So yeah. Yes. Hey, what's up, Tony? Happy birthday to you, sir. Yes, he just had his birthday too. So look, congratulations to you all. I hope you all have a wonderful week. We'll be back probably tonight with some more shenanigans, because you know what? That's how we roll around here on the Poindexter Lounge. But until next time, just treat each other well, stay nerdy, keep it real, have some fun, and even if you didn't like everything we talked about tonight or agreed, just know it's some content, it's fun, it's a way for us nerds to pass some time. I'll leave you with this.
I hate the word content. When people say they're putting out content, it means they're putting out garbage filler material because they have nothing to say. With that being said, I have now completed my content for the day.
There you go. And
we talking about bands, but I still bust the heat. We've been going on for like 4 hours now, like Zack Snyder's freaking Justice League.
We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.